All right, we are live, supposedly. We'll see how YouTube will treat us today. Yeah, because the last live stream I did yesterday, it took them 12 hours for it to actually post it. So we'll see what YouTube is up to today. So I'm sure the notifications are not going out. So it is what it is. We'll deal with what we have. Hopefully, the people that have been so vehemently arguing will show up. Did you guys get your notifications or? Yeah, basically the live stream yesterday it took 12 hours for YouTube to even post it in my on the page. So they didn't even send out notifications or anything to the subscribers. So until 4 o'clock this morning. But that's YouTube playing this game. Yeah, I put it on Twitter to see what would happen. Well, I got more than we had yesterday. So this is just this will hopefully we get some detractors because this is their time to actually speak up, especially KMT Asar. Let's see if we can send him a link. Well, he's not going to come up because he says it will impact his business, which I think is bullshit. But which I do believe is bullshit because I asked him what was he smoking. I think I knew it's first. Let me. That's it. I'm live. Here's the link. Even though I know they're not going to show up. Hey, JJ 22 whatever 220 100. I hope that's code for something. Oh, there's always naysayers. Well, we'll see. It's just you guys say it's not reopening again. You don't know that because they haven't really reopened the economy yet, so we don't know who's going to come back. It's impossible to know. You guys think this stuff happens automatically overnight. It's like it doesn't happen that way. You guys, this is not internet time. This is real time. Hey, Craig, what's up? Yeah, well, instead of jaw jack, you guys got anything before I drop the link? No shoes get a 0%. Yeah, they're not gonna show up, man. Is there a link? It should be the Patreon should be. I think it's is it in the description? Yeah, the Patreon is actually in the description. If you're looking at the description, go to the description. The link to the Patreon is there. I actually posted it. About to be 50,000 dead. Well, yeah, it's pretty close. Yeah, I forgot. It is. So let me go ahead and look at it. Because these are confirmed. That doesn't mean that there aren't more or less because a lot of the like New York is actually posting more dead than the CDC is posting. So if you go to New York papers, um, New York posts like 13,000 deaths, rather than the CDC posting 10,000. So the CDC about 3,000 dead behind. CDC is actually behind because they're waiting for the test kits to come back. So if they haven't been tested for the CDC, then they don't get listed. Well, let's look it up. Just looked at it. Let's go to New York. NYC coronavirus. So let's do that because that is the hot spot. Yeah, New York City's just now catching up. New York City just actually posts um, 11,000. Let's share the screen, make it full. Let's go ahead, pinch the zoom a little bit. Yeah, yeah. These are confirmed. New York has like New York City itself has 11,000 confirmed deaths, and the state of New York's 15,000. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're at almost 49,000 confirmed dead. So, yeah, it is what it is. But people, people say, yeah, well, it's like the regular flu. And I said, when I did it yesterday, I said, okay, let me go ahead and look up the regular flu. Corona, yeah. Oh no, actually, they're caused by reptilian aliens that lived in the center of the earth that are actually a colony for the newborns, whose planet X will come back within the next 5 years and actually claim it after they put the rest of the human beings in subjugation. Some other cases are coming from the deep south because they're working with like two or three different strains, and basically the most virulent strain is actually coming from Europe. So the Italian strain is actually clocking in at like 10% mortality. We'll see. We'll see. I hope not, but that's not the way things are rolling. But we'll go ahead and. No, they're not going to use face masks. You think American people are hard headed? American people are hard headed, and by the time if the bodies do start dropping, and then if you have a cough in public, they'll be scampering the other way. It's the 5G. Yeah, I know. It's the 5G. What's up, Chaos? That alone makes the numbers false. What are you talking about, Roland Collins? They're not being told to mark the unconfirmed deaths as corona. In other words, there's two ways of confirming it, either by symptoms or by kit tests, but there's not enough kits to go around. A lot of the flu deaths are not confirmed by test. Okay, they go by symptoms. All that meat causing, all that meat causing. Oh, you guys are silly. You guys are silly. You guys are silly. All that meat causing corona. I think True Light is trolling. I think he's joking around. I don't think he's serious. Oh yeah, well the Phoenix Lights have come back to infect the world with coronavirus. Yeah, True Light's trolling. Yeah, because the workers are getting sick. Well, there's two reasons that the plants are shutting down. One is because demand is down; they can't sell it because people don't have any money to buy the stuff. So and basically, you can't. So you have to slaughter the pigs because you can't keep feeding them. Pigs and animals that you're actually using to slaughter, you can't afford to keep feeding them because that's the cost. So you have to slaughter them and actually freeze the meat and store the meat. So that's what they're going to have to do now. They're going to have to stop production. So it's two sides. It's not the workers are getting sick, but also there's a demand side too, because now you have overstock of food because people aren't working, they can't buy food. So your economy shuts down. So all these links in the supply chain start breaking down too, which is why he's going to open up the economy. The further you go on, the further you go down the line, the more the supply chains gets disrupted and destroyed. Even oil. Second, oil they had to United States had there was an oil contract last yesterday the other day with that oil was actually sold at a minus $35 a barrel because they couldn't store it. There's too much of it. Well, it doesn't matter whether you need red meat or not. The thing is that it also goes for wheat and all the other kinds of stuff that goes that fresh fruits and vegetables, all that other kind of stuff that people can't afford. So it's a supply chain. There's a balance. There's going to be a balance. In fact, there was one guy that one other YouTuber that he used the same words that I use. In fact, the same phrase I use, Kobayashi Maru. Well, pork and beef. Okay, I mean, if you think about it, you have to think about it from a business perspective. We think about it as a consumer. We don't think about it as a business perspective. These are living creatures. They have to be fed. You can't just stop feeding them because you run out of money. If you run out of money, you got two choices: either see the animal starve to death and lose weight, and you lose money, or you slaughter it and freeze it because the demand is down. Which is the people think about the supply side, but they don't think about the demand side. People they're still producing stuff. The thing is, can you buy it? Swine causing the Rona. Well, actually the Rona, the swine don't catch the Rona. What's up, Chaos?
Oh, what's up, man? My only question is, since it's gonna be opening back up, I'm not sure why people are afraid of this thing opening back up. Like they should want to stay home for the remainder of the summer and all that stuff. This economy can't afford to stay locked down this long. I just don't
Mm-hmm.
get it.
Well, the thing is, wouldn't you be afraid?
What, to go back to work?
Yeah.
No,
Why?
God, I'm just not afraid of it like that.
So
Stay
what?
home.
So I know, you know, there's a bunch of people at Amazon that would protest it because the because the precautions weren't in place.
Oh,
There's nurses that protested because they didn't have the PPEs. In fact, let me pull up something. I'm gonna pull up something because this was on Art of Ibmore's channel. It wasn't on my channel. It's on Art of Ibmore's channel. And I'm just gonna show you guys something.
and it's interesting that they don't have enough test kits. So really, to find out who has it is they don't have
Why,
it
why
yet.
is it interesting?
No, I'm saying, people say they don't have enough of these test kits to test people out if they have it or not.
There's a very good reason why they don't. What do you think that is?
Maybe supply and demand. I could be wrong.
In other words, if you have anything new, say you have a new car, right? A brand new car, never been built before, and you put it out on the road, and then you go look for replacement parts. Will replacement parts be hard to find?
Yeah, it was
Why?
possible. Yeah.
Why?
Hold on. Repeat that question.
If you have a brand new car that's never been produced before, first year model, just rolled off the line, and 6 months later you want replacement parts? Will replacement parts be everywhere?
Well, if it's a new car and it's lined up, depending on the parts, it shouldn't be that hard to replace. I could be
In other
wrong.
words, which parts is easier to find a car for? A 10-year-old,
An existing product.
a 10-year-old Toyota Corolla, or a brand new Lamborghini that just rolled off the line? Which is going to be easier to find replacement parts for?
The one that's already out there in the market.
Out there on the market. It's a brand new virus. Guess what? Number one, that there's test kits, but the thing is, test kits have to be tested, don't they?
Yes.
In other words, they have to be developed and tested. Do you think these things get developed and tested overnight?
No.
Nope. This virus has only been out for 6 months. So you think there's, so in other words, you think that they developed a virus and developed the test kits right to go along with the virus?
Actually, I think it's 7 months now, but I could be wrong. Because
even in 7 months, even in 7 months, you know how long it takes to even develop a vaccine for it, an initial vaccine for the damn thing?
It's going to take more than a year.
2 years.
Okay. That's accurate.
The test kits that they actually made are been inaccurate. Basically, it was a Dr. Anwar. He's a toxicologist in Washington, D.C. He said the same thing. The test kits they initially put out were inaccurate. In fact, the test kits that they do have are 80%, only 80%. So there's a lot of false negatives and a lot of false positives. But the thing is, they can't produce them fast enough. So how are you going to produce test kits for 4 billion people overnight?
Cannot be done.
Cannot be done. How are you going to produce test kits for 330 million people overnight?
This country, no, you're not going to have it.
Or any country.
Or no, you're not going to get it. You're not going to have it.
You can't even produce enough fucking masks for everybody in the country. How are you going to produce test kits that at test kits at initially at $1,200 a piece? Test kits are, because they're so new, they're not mass produced. They're $1,200 a piece.
And I wonder where the money gonna come from for that.
Well, they said spend $1 trillion in the stock market. There's money for it. The thing is, they can't produce them. You have people rushing trying to produce these things. They don't have them. So I don't know. This is not a popcorn world. This is not an internet world. This is real time. These things just don't show up.
But a lot of people think it is because they've been so conditioned that everything should be made and ready. But that's not how things work.
Well, in other words, I have my tolerance for simple-minded people is getting very short.
Took you long enough.
Huh?
Took you long enough.
Since I don't dwell in your circles, Beasley, I haven't suffered with them as long as you have.
Right. Ignorance permeates every sector of the internet. Trust me. I don't know if people realize that 250,000 people die every single day under normal conditions.
Is that worldwide?
Worldwide, 250,000 people die, but 300,000 people are born. That's why the population increases. In New York City alone, a person dies every 9.1 minutes. So about 150,000 people die a day in New York under perfect conditions. So statistically, the black pill in me looks at the death figures, and it's not that alarming.
Well, the thing is, they're only reporting COVID deaths. They're not reporting all deaths. Okay.
Right. But it seems like I don't watch the figure daily like I was at first because I try not to watch the news because whatever, I make my own news in my own world. But no, the figure's growing quite a bit. What do they say? How many dead in the U.S. now? 150,000?
No, dead? No, it's not that many. Talking about that from COVID?
Yeah.
Almost 49,000.
Yeah, it's growing regularly.
Yeah,
it's growing regularly. I don't want to catch it.
I'm gonna step off now and let you continue on your stream. I'm gonna stay back. Thank you.
And I don't want to catch it. Probably nobody wants to catch it, but most people recover from it. If you have you're a little bit older,
yeah,
and maybe have high blood pressure, some respiratory problems, or
yeah.
just might have some bad luck. You're just people with, they don't have the strongest of immune systems.
Yeah, the thing is, the problem is with this particular nasty little bugger, okay, and why it's so vicious is that if you get a severe case of it, and you do live and you do recover from it, you could have permanent damage to your heart valves, to your liver, to your kidneys.
It's like pneumonia. Pneumonia cripples people.
No,
People
no. This is worse than it's not pneumonia. Okay.
pneumonia. Well, it's similar. It has similar things to pneumonia.
Have
That it
they
feels
isolated what strain it is that's that dangerous? Because I know
What's
there's like nine. I know there's like 9 strains out.
They all work the same way, but they have different virility.
Uh,
There's 8 strains, but there's three main strains, right? And the deadliest of them all is the one that's in Europe. That's the European strain that's going through New York and working its way down the East Coast.
it certainly runs through nursing homes pretty well.
Well, nursing, they're the most vulnerable, right? But the thing is that the old people might die, but the young people are recovering, but they're having there's one rapper, he got it, right.
Hmm.
He's on permanent dialysis
Oh wow!
because the virus the virus caused an immune response actually ruined his kidneys.
But
And
apparently, it shuts down your lung. It fills your body where oxygen can't get to your organs, and the organs start to.
basically this, from what they're finding out about this particular little bugger, it attacks red blood cells.
Yeah, it's more like a blood disease, and it has a long-lasting effect if you have to get on a ventilator.
Yeah. So basically, in fact, I think Rodney, who we had on Art of Itmore, I was actually looking up that stream. He was saying it's more comparable to malaria than it is anything else.
Wow.
So malaria actually is a parasite actually works its way to the bloodstream, working its way to the liver, actually damages your liver and basically damages your other organs because it damages the red blood cells.
have you read any? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Have you read any information regarding like sickle cell people? Do they have better chances against this? Since it works like malaria?
Well, basically, I guess it's such a new virus, they haven't had any reports on it. Nobody, you won't know until there's wide testing, especially on the continent.
Where are you reading about the specifics of the virus?
You can listen to Chris. What is
Chris
it?
Mortensen?
Yeah, and
Mortensen. Peace Prosperity.
Yeah,
Epoch Times does a pretty good job on it, especially with the conspiracy side. But yeah, there's about 90 shows that Chris Mortensen's done.
Where can I read? I don't want to watch a video. I want to.
Oh, he has all the sources.
Yeah.
Okay.
He'll post the sources.
Oh, he did the reading for you. All right.
Yeah. He's really good. I mean,
he's an epidemiologist. So
yeah, he's a specialist in that.
Yeah. I just don't want anybody that happens to have a YouTube channel. I want somebody with some expertise.
No, you can. He gives you the sources. You can actually Google up the sources.
Cool. Nothing worse than repeating something that you heard is some complete crackpot shit.
Mm.
Got to fact check. So it's a blood disease or
it's a virus. It's a particular virus that goes through the lungs and attacks the red blood cells. And it's the red blood cells that are actually the dead red blood cells actually clogging up the alveoli in the lungs that are causing. It was causing two things. It attacks the red blood cells so they can't carry enough oxygen.
Yeah.
And then the second thing it does is it plugs up the alveoli in the lungs, so that it clogs the way the oxygen actually gets in through to the blood. So it does two things.
And a lot of these specialists, they're learning every day about this virus. This is nothing that they got information on. They actually learning as they go. So I just keep up with them.
Yeah.
Chris Mortensen.
Yeah, Peak Prosperity. Let's see if Rodney get a bigger shot of Rodney, because he was actually showing himself.
He was bundled up for real.
Yeah, people don't believe this. People say, "Oh, you're just going by what other people heard." I said, "No, I'm talking to the people who are actually working on the front lines."
You couldn't get more compelling than Super Triz when it was right in Seattle.
Yeah,
Seattle was a hot spot, and
yeah.
then Rodney telling you about it. These are people right. Yeah, it doesn't get any more authentic than that.
Yeah, people doubt it, but that's Rodney. Rodney was at work. Okay, I'm playing the sound. Rodney was at work. Rodney was actually answering Joshua because Joshua was asking him questions, and Rodney was he was actually saying that the doctors are afraid to even go in the room with these patients. They send in the nurses. This is Rodney all gowned up. He's actually all gowned up. That's Rodney. He's at work.
Ninja. We thought we
Huh?
saw Ninja when he came on the panel.
Yep. So the thing is, they said, "Well, I heard from this, that, and the other." No, I said we had a dude on cam, all layered up in his little hazmat suit to actually keep himself safe. Okay, and he's at a desk. He's not in the room. He's at a desk. But he's not in New York or California. He's actually in Alabama, down south.
Oh wow!
And he's telling me that. So what you're hearing that down south that it's not affecting them, he's telling us something completely different. So he's the one that told me that they're undercounting the dead. Okay, because a lot of people dying in nursing homes aren't even tested for it, so they're not even part of the count. He's the one that told me that. Yeah, he was telling me that down south. He said down south they're not even counting the dead. The dead is COVID.
Yeah, why not save the test for the living?
Well, the thing is, you want an accurate count,
right?
If you want an accurate count, because first thing people say it's not an accurate count. And the thing is, if they want you to go back to work, guess what they're not going to do?
Yeah,
give you accurate numbers.
They're not going to give you an accurate number.
I'm pretty black. I'm pretty black pill about this shit.
Another way of living. If you want to, we're not going to argue this from the chat, bro. That's like I'm opening up a stream. So either you want to come on or you're going to be quiet. That's why I open up a stream. No, well then he needs to shut the fuck up, because that's why I'm not having a stream just to have a stream. So having a stream for you guys that's to come up and argue your case. If you think you know so much, there's the stream. Jump up.
I'll step down. I just want to know.
No. You don't have to step down. You don't have to step down.
Well, I like to watch that shit happen.
Well, the thing is, he ain't even up here yet. I know. See, I know you learn. You like a good
dressing down.
You like to see. You love to stop in gooseneck when there's the 20 car pile up.
All that shit. You got it.
see a burning building.
That's me.
I
want to see them running out on fire.
On fire. They say
rotten.com till they took this shit off the internet.
Hey, I can imagine you be the one with the marshmallow sticks as they're running. Hold up for a minute. Hold up for a minute.
Not that bad. I'm not that bad, but yeah. I'm not the only one. At least I can be honest about it. Everybody likes to see a car accident. You got Broke Genius in the house.
What's going on?
All right.
How's it going, BGS?
Hey, what's up?
I was just trying to get a wrench.
Wrench?
Because I wanted to drop a link. I sell herbs, basically, and other products, health and wellness products.
Mm-hmm. So why should I allow you to advertise on my channel, sir?
Well, I just thought I might be helpful with.
Why should I allow you to advertise on my channel, sir?
This is your call, man. I mean,
I'm asking you a question. You want permission, and I'm asking you why.
Sell yourself.
Oh yeah, I just I got some very good products. Got my website is owlsherbs.com.
Okay, I'm gonna let well, you're not selling yourself very well. I'm gonna let the audience vote. You can actually drop your link in the back chat. I can actually post it for you. I don't have to give you a wrench. I give a wrench to my moderators, unless I know you as a content creator. I give the content creators a wrench so they can actually protect themselves in the chat.
Yeah, I got content on my site.
I said
5,000 followers.
Okay, listen to me. Content creators that I know. Okay, I give wrenches out for a very good reason. Okay. But you can drop your link on the back chat. The thing is that just like anything else, if I have, I have almost 300 people watching, will get 5,000 or 6,000 people that will actually watch this. That's called what? Advertising. And if I know you, say if you're one of my regulars and one of my regular followers, one of my regular subs, my day ones, it ain't no problem. Okay, they just
I am a day one actually.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your screen name?
Broke Genius.
Man, I don't recognize you, bro. You guys recognize him?
No, I don't know you.
Why don't you try cutting them in on some of your profits if you do well? I mean, it doesn't mean he'll say yes.
No. It's all right. I don't mind that. I don't mind helping brothers. But the thing is that I got 35,000 subs, right?
Right.
I get a whole lot of people on my stream, right?
Right.
You know how many requests I get to actually advertise or drop links?
Yeah. I understand. It's worth it. It's worth the work.
No, what I'm saying, I don't have. People know I don't have problems helping people that I know, or people that I think are important. People, but I'm saying is, you just can't have a good product. Doesn't mean I don't know you. So I have to put you in front of my subs, and if there's a backlash, guess we're gonna catch a backlash. That's all I'm saying. So I was just give you a chance. What I'm saying is, I'll drop your link. But that's not normally the way people approach me. Okay. All right. But I dropped your link.
I'm about to drop off.
Okay. Got DC in the background. I'm just saying that's the way people approach me. If you want to advertise, you have to ask permission. You can say, "Hey, man, can I? Is it cool? I'm a brother. Can you give me a boost by dropping my link? Not I want a wrench." Okay. Wrenches for moderators.
Yeah, it's all good.
All right.
Thanks.
Anyway.
Yeah, someone I work with actually had COVID for like going on, it looks like a month and some change now. So yeah, this shit's nasty, man. Like, I don't know his living situation, how the ventilation is, but it's just staying with him.
I think I may have had it earlier this year. I had a cough that I couldn't get rid of for a month. And it was a productive cough. There was always something coming out, and it took forever to get rid of.
It could be.
And it drained all my energy. I'm hoping that I did. That means hopefully I can't get it again.
Basically, you can't get that particular strain again.
This is
because we have actually no clue about what this. They have an idea, which is why they locked the country down. Okay. As fast as they did, they actually have an idea about what it could do, but they actually have no idea what it will do because it's never been tested in the wild. And this is a global test, which probably something they didn't intend.
What about Trump? I don't know how he does this. And no, I don't know how you're there with the experts every single day, and you set a national policy. Okay, and we all know what the policy is. And then you've got some yahoos that are talking about their rights, and they stand in front of the things with their guns, and that's his base. Those type of people he knows his base, and he says those look like really good people, and he's telling them to liberate themselves. I mean, that's literally talking out of both sides of your mouth.
Yeah, well, isn't that the qualification for a good politician?
I guess. Talk out of your mouth. You're right.
Other priorities.
Basically, I actually heard it the best. I think it was Hunt for Red October, right? Where he said a good politician actually kisses a baby with pats a baby with one hand and steals his sucker out of his crib with the other. That's the art of a good politician.
Oh boy.
You said that's the greetings everyone.
All
What's up?
right.
What's up? What's up?
At the very end of Hunt for Red October.
Yeah, so that's a movie from the late '80s.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember
Doesn't
that
mean they
movie.
haven't. Doesn't mean they haven't caught up and seen it. That's a good movie too.
Yeah, yeah. That stuck with me about him saying it about politicians lying.
Oh man,
What's
Trump. That's
what's up, Code Breaker?
what's going on?
I was
What's
looking for
going
y'all
on?
last night, man. If y'all probably fell asleep.
Man, no, we was having a discussion. It wasn't built for the internet. We was trying to taper it down, and
okay.
It wasn't a no go. So I was just like, you know what? Nah, I'm not gonna even.
It's way okay. It's on the other side of the sensitivity line.
it was basically meant for the outer rim. Am I too loud or am I?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay, cool. I don't know. Sometimes my voice projects. You know.
So you out there by the Vichy maze, where the clones are, huh?
Yeah, man. Yeah, more out in Curzon. You know, like until I'm way past that. I'm out here with Snoke in there.
You might be out there with the Yuuzhan Vong, man, right out there, but out past the rim of the galaxy, man. all these geek references.
Hearing you guys talk about this coronavirus is very, very interesting to me. But like I said, I know people that actually work in the city hospital here in DC. So it's very, very real. They have exclusive floors for it. I don't know how it is in other cities, but I do know that they just have a floor that's exclusive for the COVID virus.
Yeah.
And,
that's good.
Answer me this, because
it's serious, man. It's not a game, bro.
It's not a joke.
It's not a game.
No, this is
but I am speaking from a brother that's in HQ too. So
yeah. Well, the thing is, answer me this, man, because I always get this right. Because I always get this that during Trump's press conferences he does not wear a mask and his crew doesn't wear a mask. Okay, I always get that. It said if it was real serious, how come he's not gloved up and wearing a mask
while he's shaking people's hands?
Trump, you got to understand, Trump is the personality traits of
narcissist.
Yeah, he is a stone. Well, he has the narcissistic personality of someone that should have never gained power. Now I know a lot of people, they feel whatever ways that they feel about Trump, but he has that 999 boo boo type of deal. Yeah. So he's the kind that he will withhold states from governors when they be asking, hey, we need national funding. So I guess everybody knows about him. Basically, can I go into this, BJ? Let me know when I get too far. Let me know.
No, you can go, bruh. Guess what? I don't work in a sensitive position. Okay?
All right.
You know where your line is. We go as far as your line will go.
I'm saying just look out for me, because sometimes I can get way.
Oh, you wander. Okay.
Yeah. So everybody knows about the whole state conversation about him saying, well, we have absolute power to make them bend the knee, basically. Right. Like you're a king, you whatever, but you still have to bend the knee, basically, is what he's saying to the states.
Yeah.
Now, what's interesting, right? If you look at any of the governors when they talk about we don't have enough masks, we don't have enough testing, this and that, other. Now, what does Trump say every day? We have more than enough masks.
Yeah.
We're giving out more money.
Yeah.
More ventilators for everybody that's out there on the scene. So he's vaguely telling them, look, don't come out here acting like you don't need us for funding.
Yeah.
All states get national funding. All states get national money.
By design.
They're dependent on certain things.
Yeah.
State regulations are basically following a lot of national regulations, especially when it comes down to medical equipment.
Yeah, that's it. Lincoln did that because after the Civil War, they wanted to make sure that the states kind of
right, but they don't want it to be thrown in their face.
No. Basically, so they don't control you directly; they control the purse strings.
It's through proxy. So it's like you need my help.
Yes.
Now, the reason why I just said earlier what I just said about having somebody that's like Trump that's in power is that he will go to the fullest extent of what his power is.
Yeah.
I want to find out, what can I do to make them bend the knee? And if you look at Cuomo, he's basically begging them, hey, look, we need help. We need national funding. We need help to get money. Now, this is the New York governor, basically.
His own state.
His own state. So come in, let's have a conversation, let's talk and stuff like that, and then let's kind of figure it out. Now, you understand that when Trump came out right after they had that conversation, he came out like the Don and said, well, we had a very, very good conversation. It was very fruitful. And basically, you know, he bent the knee. So in essence, the law says, 10th Amendment does say on the books, look, whatever is not national, the state has the power of. But the financial component, which is the most empowered part of it, is what they need in an actual pandemic crisis. When things hit the fan, they are dependent. Is what he's saying. So it's politics, but you know, it's a push and pull. You got to kind of know exactly where you at. So, you know, hey, look, the states have a lot of power. He said something that's not normally said by a president. At the end of the day, he does have a lot of influence on states, on what they do and things of that nature, due to the financial strings that he hold and the other positions that he hold as far as funding is concerned. But he doesn't have direct power to delegate to them. But his influence is strong. But so I hope that kind of cleared it. Was that kind of cleared up, or was that confusion?
No, one thing is that I get a lot of questions about how come Trump doesn't wear the mask. In other words, if he's afraid of getting it, they would say if it was as bad as it is, as bad as it was, then during press conference he would be wearing the mask and gloves.
All narcissists has a very delusional belief that they're invincible, so to speak.
But plus, before anybody enters that building, they're checked daily.
You already know.
In other words, you don't get into the White House press conference unless you've been checked and cleared to get in there.
You don't get inside
the gates.
Not even
the perimeter. Oh, is that far back? The perimeter?
Look, man. You ain't stepping foot inside that building without having some kind of test and regulation or some kind of actual identification that you have tested and you cleared. Bottom line, and that's really even before. I mean, it's already like that in a lot of federal buildings, man. Like who are you? Why are you here?
Hey, BJS.
Jump in.
No, I didn't want to derail the conversation, but I mean, I just heard reports about the North Korean president possibly dead. What are your thoughts about that?
He was supposed to actually undergo open heart surgery. Okay, so the fact that he could be possibly dead is a very real thing. We don't know how sick he was because he was supposed to undergo heart surgery.
So, does anyone have any information about his sister? Like, if he does die, like, is his sister more?
Do sisters rule in a patriarchal society?
Well, she's the only one that's up online now.
Yeah, she making some decisions, man.
She might make some decisions, but I'm saying is, it's possible that she could rule. But the thing is, in a highly patriarchal society, the likelihood of her ruling is probably not good.
Yeah, they'll come for her head real quick.
In other words, she's a woman.
I think the generals will end up fighting each other before, like. She's direct lineage, you know. That's what I'm thinking. I'll let that slide.
But she's not a man in a patriarchal society. That's what I'm saying.
Hard for them to actually listen to a woman give a direction.
Yeah, basically, it was a big for a woman in like South Korea, who's more advanced and more liberal than North Korea. It was a big thing for a woman to actually become premier. It's not one of those easy things. So for her to, I'm not saying that she can't, but the thing is, I would tend to doubt it in North Korea, which is still holds on to the old values.
Maybe the 5G will stop her. I don't know.
So what is everybody's thoughts on 5G? I just want to hear. I love to hear this kind of conversation because
if you go back to my last, I don't know if they're on here. The 5G guys were on here, but. They're saying that the coronavirus is a cover for them turning up the 5G, and it's the 5G is actually causing the the complications from the virus and stuff like that. So the people that are dropping dead are not dropping dead because of the virus, dropping dead because they got irradiated to the point they can't be helped. That makes sense.
It weakens the immune system.
No, it's actually ruining the organs, like the lungs and the kidneys and whatever, right? So when they go into the hospital, they can't be saved. It's not the immune system, but the immune system. Well, they have different levels of 5G. So
how come they never said anything when they introduced 4G?
Because there was no virus; it was killing people.
There was no information that 4G carried, all type of catastrophic stuff. Someone said Dr. Phil Valentine.
It was 4G actually carries any cell phone or microwave over a long period of time. They were saying will cause cancers. They were saying it causes brain cancer.
Could be.
It's a different frequency. The frequency for 5G is extremely high, which I mean, really, for human beings are not really supposed to be close to 3G technology. They thought that they can, max out at 4G, but people wanted things to be faster. They wanted to advance. So they sped up 4G, but now with 5G, the possibilities of where they're going to go next is going to be endless. So, I mean, I could go into thoughts on that, but I'm gonna leave that alone until maybe somebody bring it up.
Yeah, well,
you did plenty, right? You did plenty.
But the thing is, it was not going to cause flu-like symptoms.
Right.
Not on this scale.
But that's not what I'm not thinking about that part of it. But
yeah, with 5G, okay, with 5G, what they're saying is, and this is what they're saying. Okay, there's two effects. One is long-term, which is cancer causing. One is short-term, which is caused with your nervous system.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're saying, that the effects of 5G. 5G affects your nervous system, like birds in flight and stuff like that. It's knocking them down because it's fucking up their nervous system.
Right.
Their electrical system.
Bats and the sonar system that they travel with. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So if you start to see birds kind of go jagged a little bit, like if you watch some birds, they'll kind of like look like they jumping up and down, and there's no wind outside. You're like, what the hell going on with them?
Or they're not in formation anymore.
Right. They're out of sync. They're not.
Yeah, because birds have a very, very sensitive. They're actually very sensitive to the magnetic field of the Earth. Right. And anything that throws that off is going to throw them off. But the thing is, we're not as sensitive, but we still get affected. Your nervous system still gets affected. So I told him, I said, if it's going to be any kind of radiation, it's going to show up like anything like that. The first thing it's going to get is your thyroid. If it's radiation, the first thing it's going to hit is your thyroid. It wouldn't be your lungs; it'd be your thyroid, or one of those type of organs. It's not going to be your lungs or your heart or your liver.
Mm-hmm.
But they were trying to stretch it, and so they said, well, I said it's giving them flu-like symptoms. I said, so why is it giving flu-like symptoms when they're under the antenna? When you take them away, they get better. So you're going to send them back to the place where they were, expect them to actually survive. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
They would. I said, if the death rate, there's nobody going to put out something that's going to kill 10% of your population a year.
Nah. Not purposely, anyway.
Well, if they experiment with it and find out that this is happening, they're not going to put it out because it doesn't make any sense, and people are going to get wise to it.
Right, it's too hard to hide.
Too hard to hide. Yeah, people think this stuff. People think that because of the, especially with the internet, and people can go live immediately. It's difficult to hide this shit.
Right.
Okay. The stuff that's obvious. It's difficult to hide this stuff. The Chinese are masters at propaganda and hiding stuff and hiding information, and they can't keep all this stuff from getting out because the internet is pervasive like that. If you're someplace, you can put any kind of news press that you out that you want, and somebody in that section that they're complaining about, that's protesting, or there's some kind of whatever it is, can go right live, go right on Facebook and destroy everything that you just said in like 3 seconds. Oh, well, I'm out here in this middle of the square where they're saying all this big riot is, and guess what? I don't see anybody. There's the street sign. 3 seconds, this stuff is all blown up.
Happens all the time.
Happens all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
5G.
So is Dr. Phil Valentine just pushing the 5G conspiracy stuff?
I haven't.
Well,
What did Dr. Valentine say? What did Phil?
I don't know. Someone mentioned his name. I remember he was the guy that said that Obama is Malcolm X's son because they saved some of Malcolm X's DNA. They cloned some of his DNA and grow it.
Did he actually say? Did Dr. Phil Valentine say that?
Not only did I hear him say it, I had to argue with the cat about how stupid that shit was.
There's a rumor about whose son he actually is.
Yeah, I heard that.
But it's not Malcolm X.
Yeah. That's Malcolm X. Obama's Malcolm X's son, and he's genetically related.
Well, Malcolm X and his mother never met. Yeah. She was too young. They never met.
That's what I was about to say. Malcolm X passed on, man, in 63, 65 or 65?
1965.
Yeah, but was Malcolm X ever in Hawaii? Was Malcolm X ever in Hawaii? So what did she do? She go to the sperm bank and get Malcolm X sperm or what? Because he looks nothing like Malcolm X.
Yeah, you'll be able to see that kind of strong gene pool on that one, man.
Well, there is a guy that was a civil rights dude, a radical that they blame that they say could be his father, but that's an unproven rumor. But it's not Malcolm X. I know what you're talking about, but that's not Malcolm X.
It's somebody in the conscious. Let me think. Who? No,
he was. I can't remember his name. But he was an old school radical, but he actually. I think was he old? No, he wasn't a Panther, but he was an old school radical. Civil rights radical.
What's up, y'all?
Hey, what's up?
What's up? What's going on? Huh.
I'd have to look up his name, but the thing is, he escaped to Hawaii.
Okay.
And during that time, and they said that she knew him, and if there's a possibility that he, because she had jungle fever, so he possibly could be Obama's father, and there is a resemblance, but the thing is, that's an unproven rumor.
Yeah, his mother was in those kind of circles back in the day.
Back in the day, yeah.
So they said this talk that the grandmother was a banker, and she was
a banker.
But she's banking and she was CIA.
That's possible.
And that they got pictures. They got picture of him in Hawaii, in the ocean with a white man. They say a couple of the white men are NASA astronauts.
And, but basically, there are people that actually were at NASA astronauts. They were actually from his Punao school. Punao school is like 120 years old. Where he went to school at, there's like 3 or 4 NASA astronauts that actually went to that school.
Okay, so the problem is there might be some truth to that.
Oh yeah, in fact, the school that he went to, I think in the 1920s, one of the graduates of that school was actually the president, the premier of China back in the 1920s. So it's the list of prominence on that school, man, goes like, I mean, you could compare that to Harvard.
My bad. What school is it?
The Punao School in Hawaii.
Yeah,
you can look. You can. All you gotta do is look up his look up his Wikipedia page to find out where he went to high school.
Well, he does. He does have presidential bloodlines on his right side.
That's what they say.
Exactly. That's why I think presidents are selected, not elected.
They are selected.
They are all related. Even Trump and Hillary are related.
They are. Well, actually, Trump is not part of the.
Yeah, he's not
English
part
family.
of
No, not part of the English
I mean, he's
family.
not all the way in, but they 19th cousins though. So I'm just like,
Trump's not part of that line.
Do you guys know where Trump's family is from?
Yeah, from Prussia.
Yeah, he is second generation. He's an immigrant.
Oh, he's second generation Russian.
No. Okay, Prussian. Prussia.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's actually East Germany. What used to be East Germany is Prussia.
His mom wasn't
people,
born here. His mom was not born in the States.
So his people fuck with Hitler. His people must fuck with Hitler.
This is not the stream. I'm sorry, BGS. My bad.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, it's not that kind of stream. Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. We're not going to divert. Okay. If all this stuff is available, you can look it up. Trump is actually closer related to Putin than he is to the royal family.
Exactly. Trump is not of the European blue blood line.
No.
If that's what you're stating. So in that instance, that will be incorrect. That's
which is why the elite of the blue blood elite of this country do not particularly like Trump.
Right.
They turned their nose up.
Oh, I didn't know white folks was beefing like that. What the fuck? Hold on.
Yeah.
She better ask somebody. You
think World War I and World War II?
I don't be concerning.
So you think all white people get along, huh?
No, I mean I know some of them don't like each other, but I just thought
so basically in 2 world wars in the 20th century they slaughtered like 100 million of each other, but they get along, huh?
I mean, the wars were planned. The wars was planned.
No, they were not, sweetie.
Yes, they were.
We're not. You did not know who Prussia was, so I'm not. So we're not even going to argue about them being planned. Okay.
It sounds like a fake leather.
Okay. Look, it's not that kind of stream. Okay.
She's strong in the disinformation, man.
I know.
Strong
and this ain't that kind of stream. This is for people that have read. If like I said, when you failed to know what Prussia was, you never heard of it, then you kind of dropped the ball there.
Malcolm X.
I know. I'm just messing with y'all. Man. But
okay. All right. Go ahead, Beasley.
No.
Sorry.
So I guess because of bloodlines, it's actually much more likely for Obama to have become president than Trump. It's unlikely. There's limitations, which is the other reason that they were not going to elect Bernie Sanders. Okay, he had no shot. Which is, but the thing within the only Trump got is because he was preferable to the candidate that was running against him. It looks like the Democrats have decided to go ahead and let Trump fumble this ball. Go ahead and let Trump fumble this ball that he's carrying.
Okay, there's two components to this election. Okay, that destroyed the Democratic Party. First, it was the ADOS black people. Okay, you guys got it rolling.
ADOS.
Yeah, you guys shot down for the candidate.
Oh no, never mind.
You shot down. You guys, the ADOS. You guys with the reparations question and the online campaign shot down 4 of their candidates. Whoa. Boom. Shot them all down, including Elizabeth Warren. Shut them down.
They weren't black enough.
The thing is, they weren't talking the right thing. You basically.
They're right. They want to make it a one issue.
Since you have social media, you got enough black people with enough voices to come together and basically start putting pressure on the Democratic candidates. So you've shot down 4 of their candidates, which is why Yvette and Tone will never get the kind of prominence that they were looking for, because.
They out now
because
they twiddling out there now
because you took gasoline and a match, you set fire to the Democratic Party.
Yeah,
because they had to bring Biden out of retirement to save it.
Damn.
He was the only one that could withstand their brunt of their vitriol to still kind of, because you got the old black guard that still basically rocked with the first vice president for the first black so-called president of the United States.
And they held his feet. They held his feet to the fire too.
But he
came out and admitted everything too. Go ahead, bitches. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but basically, Biden, number one, he retired, right? He already been in the White House for 8 years with Obama. He really did. At this point, Biden really does not give a fuck. Okay.
Yeah,
you can tell that he doesn't.
Yeah.
When he knows that his chances of getting in the White House is probably slim to none. He doesn't really care. Okay, we need you to actually run against Bernie Sanders because we don't want a socialist actually having the Democratic nomination, pure and simple. That's the only reason they pull him out of retirement.
Because of this virus, they've given out more money and created more money out of thin air and bonds than Sanders would have ever been able to do in one term.
I still didn't get my stimulus check, so.
Well, if you ain't got it yet, you might not qualify, sweetie.
Yeah, you owe child support?
No.
You owe back taxes?
No.
Okay. Did you file taxes over the past 2 years?
I don't know. I might have to file my taxes.
Well, if you ain't filed taxes the past 2 years, it's not coming to you.
No, because my people told me that I didn't have to file my taxes.
Well, then you're not getting a stimulus check, sweetie. That's what they're going by.
Here's the thing. Here's what you can do. You can go to the IRS website, right? There's a button that's going to say payout or pay the check or whatever, the stimulus check. Do I qualify? You click on that, and then you put in your information, and then they'll tell you exactly what you need to know. They'll actually tell you whether you qualify or don't qualify.
Okay.
They said I qualified, but it's still not. I'm still not getting a
Maybe
check.
it's on the way.
It said I qualified.
If you did,
hold on. Did you put in a legitimate routing number and an account number?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell us some good stuff here.
Nah, if you don't have
they said,
I'm gonna tell y'all what
hey, you all can't speak at one time, all right? DC in LUH, I think it's LUH. Okay, they're having a conversation. Let them have their conversation, okay? And then you guys can chime in when they have a break. So one at a time. Go ahead, DC.
Yeah. So what exactly did you do when you went to their website?
Basically, I put in my information. I went to non-filer, and like I went to the page where it said non-filer, so I didn't do my taxes the last 2 years, and so I put it in, and here's what I got back. I got your non-filers interpayment info return successfully transmitted. Next steps: watch your mail in 24 to 48 hours. You should receive an email showing whether your filing is accepted or rejected. And they said it was accepted in the next email.
Okay, well then
you may actually owe. Yeah, somewhere down the line that you owe something, most likely.
It says congratulations, the IRS accepted your non-filers interpayment info return. And then they gave me my submission ID.
I understand, but the next part of this is that people that do qualify, right? You can still qualify, you can still get the money. But if you owe the government in any kind of way, they will pull it and they will direct that money to that particular thing.
You can always call the SBA, and I called them, and surprisingly enough, I got a human being on the phone pretty quickly. And
what do I call?
The Small Business Association.
Yeah. Small Business Association.
The SBA, and actually, I got somebody on the phone pretty quick, and they told me what they explained the different programs, because I operate a small business, a sole proprietorship, and I just finished the stuff up today and provided documentation, and we'll see how it goes.
I know, Lindy. We're gonna wrap this up in a minute because this is not
turn into something else. Right?
It's not the BGS helpline. Okay, so we'll give you like 2 or 3 more minutes to actually ask questions.
Do not go after Dr. Phil Valentine though.
Okay. Yeah, because my subs are the people in the chat are actually getting restless. But go ahead and ask your final questions, babe. Because the thing is, it's you getting your money is highly complex. The money might still come, but the people that actually filed and are actually good to go are the first people actually going to get their checks. You still can get it, but the thing is, it's going to take a little bit more trouble, more work to get it. But go ahead, DC.
No, I'm just saying, like, most likely. I mean, I know there are situations where people are still getting their checks. So, I mean, if I was you, I would just call. I know there's a number that you can actually call or an email correspondence that they do have. I would do that for your personal actual request to get your check and check with them, because if your bank account is legitimate and your routing number is legitimate, you should not have problems getting your money at all. Okay.
Yeah, if a human being has to look at
BGS,
that,
I appreciate it, man.
No, that's no problem. If a human being has to review your case, then it's going to be a while. Okay, because there's not enough bodies actually review a case. So if it's complex, need somebody actually look at it in person, then it's going to be a while.
Damn.
Good luck. I hope you get it. I'll catch you guys a little later.
All right.
All right, Beasley.
Okay.
All right.
All right, Beasley.
All right. Okay. Forgot what we're talking about.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that, you
And I
guys.
forgot
I just
what
wanted to know.
yeah.
I mean, did y'all get y'all chicks though?
I haven't got mine, but there's reasons for it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Child support.
now my youngest child is 25 years old,
Oh, okay, that's good.
and I've never been put on child. Even though I paid it, I was never put on it.
Okay, that's good.
Oh, I appreciate you. I appreciate your your acknowledgement. Anyway, you realize
I think we was talking about North Korea.
Yeah. Yeah, the North Korea. Yes,
I just thought they were talking about North Korea
and the secession of power.
Yeah, it basically. Yes,
it's a secession of power.
I'd be shocked if a female actually got it in North Korea. It would probably be another male that we don't even know about. But we'll see. Anything can happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I got y'all off topic.
And it's okay, sweetie. You know, if you got anything else to contribute,
Do you think we're gonna go into World War III with China?
no.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
I do think there's going to be some type of conflict stemmed up from this, though. Like
why? Like what? And why?
I'm not even going to front. I don't have the information, but I just have a feeling there's just too much. There's too much loose ends. People are upset. I'm starting to hear like states in our country are like trying to demand China to pay back some type of payments. I know some countries in Europe are trying to get them to pay stuff. So I don't know if it's going to be like, you know how
when was how long has it been since the last World War?
What, like 60, 80 years?
More than that.
Yeah.
45, almost 80.
Yeah,
75 years.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's been 75 years since the last World War with all the tension?
Because we haven't had a reason to.
Too much death, too much destruction. It's
You're cute, but no.
Nukes.
It's too. Oh yeah.
What's an outcome of any world war? In
money. The people who run the world are gonna get money, but everybody else is dead. But that's
hold
on a second. What makes you think that?
Well, if you know where the 3 world wars were, who writ them, who predicted there would be, it was a Freemason, and he predicted the 2 first world wars.
No.
And
no.
Okay.
Actually, if you actually read history, if you read Tragedy and Hope, it's actually really easy to figure out. Basically, we call them the First World War and the Second World War, but actually, it's an extension of the Russian, the Prussian or the German Franco Wars. They'll go all the way back to Napoleon. Okay, there's 4 of them that France fought with the rest of Europe, especially with Germany, with the German tribes, right? Napoleon in 1812, the Franco-Prussian War in 1871, World War I, France and Germany, right? And the Second World War, France and Germany again. Those are 4. They were vying for power of the European continent. Okay, 4 of them. Okay, that's what they extend from. If you understand history, you can actually see the precedents. Okay, they didn't come out of nowhere. And basically, World War II was actually an extension of World War I, because the Germans wanted revenge. Okay, it wasn't about money. Wars like this are not about money. At least not about money on the surface. It's about power. It's about global power. It's about acquisitions of colonies and stuff like that, which is the first World War that fought after, because Germany wanted a piece of Africa.
Well, China is trying to invade the USA. Well, via AI, artificial intelligence.
Prove it.
Prove it.
Yes.
Do you not know all these apps are made by China to get information from us?
Prove it. No, they're not made by. They're not made by China.
The app TikTok.
Where's the vast majority of apps and apps and any kind of computer science actually done? Where's it done?
The capital of AI is in China.
Silicon
No,
Valley,
yeah, Silicon.
Google. Okay,
What
Google's.
China does is China steals shit. That's the biggest issue China does. As far as TikTok, you're not gonna invade like the US military through an app.
Yeah.
Now, does that allow for like spyware and shit for like normal people? Okay, you might be able to go that point, but as far as the military
Yeah.
stuff, that stuff
Yeah.
is completely different.
We would love to coach you. You know, we would love to, like, normally on
I
Saturday
would
night.
love it. I'm
Oh, hold on.
bored. I
If you
like learning.
if you listening to me, say we would love to coach you on like Saturday night. When I have 8 hour streams, that's where we coach. Okay.
Okay.
This ain't one of those streams. And basically, all the stuff that you're spitting out, basically, you're talking to people that have done this. Like, I've studied this for 25 years. DC has studied this probably his whole life. Lindy worked there. Okay, so you're talking to people that actually study this in depth. And um, basically, what you're spouting, we know it's not true. Okay.
And it ain't
I
even
was
you.
just
Like you have
asking.
no idea. Well,
Huh?
you have no idea how many niggas, and I'm talking specifically black men that come up here on some, not even at throwing it out there, but on some, I know this shit, and then being assholes about it. So it's really not you. So don't take it like
Yeah.
that. Um,
Oh, I know. I was just questioning. It was
and
just
and
stuff that I
and
I,
read, different
I,
people's opinions.
I
and
understand.
and
I understand, but normally, if it's just an open topic and you could actually do that, okay, that would be fine. But the thing is, you're asking questions that is actually slowing things down, and you're actually throwing out information that's already been disproven on this channel. So,
Okay.
I would say this too. What you could do is like if you go to, for instance, this channel, and not even this channel, but just go in YouTube. If you go to the channel and on the upper right hand side, there's the search bar. It actually searches what's in individual channel. So if you type in like China, you type in any one of those keywords, it'll actually bring in the video, so you can get a lot of the thoughts that
okay.
he thinks or anybody else thinks on a topic.
I,
But
I'll actually tell you there's a very good reason why. Well, nobody. If you, do you know anything about military science, sweetie?
Yes. Well, not really.
Well, not really. You don't say don't lie. You know. Okay.
No, I
There's
don't know.
there's a very good reason why invading the United States is a task that nobody wants to do and has never even attempted. You know why that is?
Why is that?
Because you have two large oceans there that got across that you got to get people and material across, right? You're gonna be easily spotted because it's gonna take you days to get there. You can't fly in, right?
From
Okay.
sea to shiny sea.
Sea to shiny sea, okay? Okay, they're gonna see you coming. Okay. Number two, you have the third largest population on the planet with 400 million guns. Okay, you know how difficult it would be to actually overtake the most powerful military on the planet with the most armed populace on the planet. If you're a general, would you like to walk into that?
No.
That's exactly why China will never try to invade United States.
and then everything else is just nukes after that.
Well, nukes, there's no winners in nukes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if they just say "fuck it," I'm gonna do it anyway. The nukes, yeah. But like the thing I wanted to add real quick too, though, is this: what I'm getting tired of, and this is like the thing amongst all of this, and this isn't you. I'm not talking about you at all. What I'm talking about, because I was gonna say this before I even knew you was on here, is I'm getting tired of black men, particularly, because I already know women are gonna be done when it comes to charisma and stuff. But I'm talking about dudes being wooed by feelings and charisma. Like we're talking about the people that's come on here before. Like, and the stuff, it's like, damn, man, when you sit here and you bring some stuff up, you don't have to be, you should be an expert on these things, but you don't even have to be. A lot of this stuff doesn't even pass the logic test. Like, if you, like, for instance, a lot of stuff that I say, I ask myself, am I full of shit today?
Okay.
You know, and I care. No, seriously. And this is why you can see it in even how I go back and forth with you. Like, even if it's something I vehemently disagree with, like the Russell Wilson shit, I'll acknowledge, okay, that could be true, will remain to be seen. I'm not going to act like what I'm saying is right and it's got to be right because, God damn it, I'm going to throw a fucking tantrum. Unless it's some shit that I can prove and I know exactly is going to be right. But I don't see enough of people questioning their own shit. Yeah. Am I full of shit? Is something you're saying rises to the level of, okay, I didn't consider that point. Let me consider it. I don't hear that.
Yeah,
and that's my issue.
DC has been following me. I don't know how long DC been following me. Well before I got to YouTube, I'm sure. And DC can tell you that what I put on this channel is only like 10% of what I know.
Man, that's correct. That's accurate.
Well, yeah, and because it becomes about ego, and like I said before, if I value somebody's opinion, it is because they give me ability to see either further ahead of time or in a vector that I haven't seen, and that's valuable to me because that gives me the ability to adjust based on some information I might not have got. Also, I'm not trying to put all the time in this shit all the time, and I just don't see that when people come up on here. It's not about like even it's not even about like giving you accolades. It's just about, because this is with anybody. It's about like it's just, I see this, I want to be right shit just because, and that's some black female shit. And I'm not even talking about her. I'm talking, but dudes you can't get away with that. They can get away with that to a point.
You know what? Why I'm starting to lose patience is because on the white side, if I was a white dude doing what I do,
you'd be paid.
No more I would get paid, but I wouldn't even be questioned with my track record.
And half these niggas listen to Alex Jones.
I wouldn't be questioned with my track record.
Or Jordan Peterson.
The thing is, for 5 years, you can go back and look at my first videos. For 5 years, I have been at least 90% accurate. At least 90% accurate with the stuff I say.
Man, these folks ain't looking at your past videos. Oh, they looking at what the right now is.
I'm talking about people that have been following me for 5 years. People get mad about, well, BGS has all these followers and they're really into BGS and stuff like that. Anybody, even you, can tell me that you guys have questioned me before you guys even accepted what I said. You guys actually research every scintilla of what I said on every stream and every video.
Yep.
And you guys have vetted me more than any other person on YouTube. I've been vetted more than anybody else on fucking YouTube.
Yeah. Well, that shit don't matter because it's exactly. Our feelings. And
that's what frustrates me. Well, nigga, you're a fraud. Or who do you think you are? You don't know shit. I got a track record.
I'll give you a perfect example. If you look at this is why I started to really get annoyed by it. If you look at the video, the stuff you have with BGS for women, and I listen to that, and then I listen to a video kind of not like this, but like the other videos when you call somebody in. Literally, it's less pushback from the females than it is. And I'm like, that shouldn't be the case. The shit, unless you got something that completely counters a logic point. Like it, or like that you can present, but then when you ask, it's like, oh no, well fuck that. I'm like, dude, man, you can't be operating like that. Like you can't. This ain't like bingo where you could just say anywhere that I don't have an answer, I'm just gonna feel my way through that shit. And I'm saying because as a black man, the world will eat you up and spit you out operating like that. And to be fair, just take BGS out of it for a second. Yeah. Jay Sean was actually saying that same shit. He was saying, dude, Jay Sean he's in the Pentagon and all this stuff, and he wasn't even talking about the stuff on the level you was talking about. He was talking about a lot more simplified stuff, and then they just coming at him. I'm like, this nigga is in this shit. So if you ain't got something that really can kind of counter what he's saying, why, other than this feeling bullshit, this I'm mad bullshit, like, are you serious right now? And these niggas don't give a fuck. They're like, no, fuck that shit. I don't give a fuck where that nigga been. And the shit that they're presenting be, yo, I had Alan Roger Curry was on Ramil's shit, right? He got on there, and he was talking about non-sexual companionship. So, because Ramil and him disagree, but Ramil has given him, they respectfully disagree and they agree on something. It was one dude talking about, well, why is it that you don't value a woman's non-sexual companionship? A man should want non-sexual companionship, or no, give non-sexual companionship to a woman. And ARC thought I was bullshitting when I said that this is how some of these niggas think. He was like, what?
They do think
and this dude, he went on to, and I told him, I said, you don't understand the niggas we are dealing with. You need to come over to BGS shit a little bit more and hear it.
Well, basically, you're taught to give little boys are taught to give away the non. Even though this is not the video for this, okay?
Yeah, my bad.
This is not a woman video. I actually say this: little boys and men are taught to give away your non-sexual companionship, right? You're taught that. That's how come you don't value it. We're trying to get men to actually value it and put a price tag on non-sexual companionship. Okay. We're trying to reverse.
But that's for another video.
We're trying to reverse the brainwashing. That's what we're trying to do. Alan Roger Curry knows what I'm talking about.
Yo, BGS, can you
yes, sir.
ask you? I got a question for you about this coronavirus stuff.
Go ahead.
During this whole situation, I've been thinking. It's gonna be a little long question, but give me a second. I've been waiting for the crime rates to increase, and maybe it's too early, but they haven't increased. Well, it was something I'm kind of thinking like because
why? Okay, what makes people commit crime?
That's poverty, desperation.
Okay, in other words, there's two reasons. Criminals are actually very smart. They're not stupid.
Yeah.
And if anybody's gonna be afraid of catching a virus, it won't be the person that won't believe in it are not gonna be the criminals, because there's three people they pick up an issue really early, right?
Yeah, but that was the beginning of my question. I got it's a multi-layered question because I was wondering was the I don't know, I haven't really paid attention to statistics. I don't think crime has gone up that at all since this happened. Let me finish. Is it due to people? Is it due because people are more prepared than we thought they were, or did the American government handle this a lot better?
Where are crimes committed normally? If you're gonna steal something, you're gonna rob somebody, beat up somebody, where's it gonna be committed?
In your area.
In the street, right?
Outside.
Yeah.
Outside.
Yeah.
Where are people not?
Outside.
Right. Or how many people are bold enough to walk into somebody's house and commit a crime?
Don't you come up in here?
Not at this moment.
In the first 48.
How many criminals break into somebody's house when they're there?
You're not gonna do it.
Not now when everybody's in their house.
No. That's not the question I asked you, sir.
Well, okay. Let me ask you a question. You don't break into somebody's house while they're there.
Exactly. So there are people that will do it, but they're very few. Most crime is committed from people. Is a crime of opportunity when they can size you up in a certain area, right? Outside.
Yeah.
Marks.
Okay. So marks, exactly. So if people are not outside and they're at home and they're locked in, will crime go up or down, sir?
It'll probably go down.
So have you answered your question?
Boy, that's a lot. That was a good one, BGS. Good job.
I mean, it kind of does answer my question, but I guess desperation hasn't set in because if things get bad enough and you get desperate enough, you might just run up in somebody's house.
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But even still,
okay. We'll actually. So thus, why the fuck do you think they gave them a goddamn stimulus?
Criminals, criminals are not. Yeah, it's way
because there's like career crime. There's like people that are like, okay, they about that life, and then you talking about like on some Hurricane Katrina shit. And a lot of times you'll see certain people like try to romanticize. Well, like I'm gonna steal from grocery stores because like that's different.
How many criminals do you know, man?
I don't know any shit besides myself.
I know a lot.
You know some.
You know some. You don't know. You don't know that you know them. You know
have you active or inactive? Active and inactive.
Have you ever sat down and talked to some hardcore criminals?
Yeah, the ones in my family. Yeah.
Well, sit down. And
talk I ain't got hardcore criminals in my family.
Have they ever walked in somebody's house where they're home and actually robbed the place?
Yeah, my brother's in jail for killing somebody right now.
I'm not killing somebody. I'm talking about walking into somebody's house and robbing the place. He did.
Well, he didn't rob them, but he walked in and did other things to
him. He killed them. Well, that's a different story. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
still,
I mean, but you're not gonna kill somebody out of desperation because of coronavirus.
And how many people are in jail for walking in somebody else's house and killing them that they didn't know?
I don't know the exact numbers for that.
Exactly. The number's going to be people in prison for murder is a very, very small rate.
Most crimes happen outside. It's like a happenstance. Like they see you and they see a chance to create an environment where a crime can take place. So most of it.
What did they say? They said New York jails hit under 4,000 for like the first time in 70 years.
They released a lot of criminals. But the thing is, okay. I'll give you.
I have no problem. I have no problem with
Archer, hold on a second. I'll give you the way a criminal thinks. Right? Criminals have areas, right?
In other words, Breaking Bad nigga version. Go ahead.
They have areas where they actually look for their marks, right? Because they're in an area, they know what's in the area, they know why people come to that area. They know they sit there and study the habits of the people that are in that area. Say like you're gonna snatch purses, right? Okay, you're not gonna be in front of the gym. You're gonna be in front of a grocery store. Shopping mall, something like where people are carrying their money to go shopping, right?
department store,
stuff like that, right? So you go basically criminals criminals hunt just like hunters. They have a specialty animal that they hunt. So they don't you think criminals just randomly go from one area of town to the next and commit crimes? Though they have a certain area that they hunt. Because they know where the cops are, they know where the stores are.
Same
they know
for shoplifters.
They know the habits of the people, all kinds of stuff, right? So basically, they specialize in an area. That's how come when the cops actually go, say you snatch a purse or something like that, they know the group of guys that they've arrested in that area that has snatched purses. They go to them first because they know the criminal mind. If you ever try to plan a crime, think about it. Just try to plan a crime. Just for 1 second, put yourself in the mind of a criminal. How would you plan a crime? How, if you want to?
So this is what you teach your grandson, BGS?
No, I don't teach him that. But basically, so basically, no. This is basically the scientific method of how all scientists or all people, the sociologists, they think. Right? There's people. We don't think that criminals are actually logical people, but they actually are very logical people. They're not stupid. Okay?
Extremely. Absolutely.
They're extremely bright. They sit there and they study their marks.
What's that on Netflix? It's called Underworld Inc. Or like those shows. It kind of goes into what you're talking about because it talks about both sides. The cop side is because they'll be interviewing cops in a specific topic, and then they'll be interviewing like criminals. And yeah, you're right. Like with the ghost gun thing, they had the first episode was ghost guns. They were talking about like how to flow a gun's move. So like once a gun is being used by like in certain many crimes, it gets hot. So they got to move it to other places that maybe the laws are a lot stronger. So they don't care about them guns being used. And then eventually they wind up in New Mexico. And you see how they go through it. Yeah, it's definitely some well thought out.
There's two shows. They're both on HBO. They're crooks we used to watch faithfully. You know what they were?
No.
The Sopranos and The Wire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to say The Wire. The Wire was fucking brilliant.
Because it was a how-to on how to commit a crime. And how organized the crime actually is. The crime is not as random as you think it is.
Yeah, if you're impulsive, you won't be a very, very successful criminal.
No, you will get
they'll get you easy. They'll get you first.
Because you're gonna do something.
My original
killed
thought
or locked up easily.
My original thought coming into this corona thing is that crime rates were going to spike once this got bad enough. But I'm able to admit when I'm wrong, and it doesn't look like I'm going to be right. So.
That's why I put that quote by the physicist, right? He says, and we're actually taught this in chemistry, right? I don't care what calculations that you put up, what your theory is, or how correct you think your numbers are, right? If it doesn't agree with your experiment, it's wrong. There's got to be all theories, no matter how elaborate they are, no matter who puts them out. If the data, if the real world data doesn't back it up, they're wrong. So in other words, you can be absolutely right about your theory, but the thing is, once the numbers come out, that means you're wrong. The thing is, why are you wrong?
It's actually what's the dude that does the Cosmo thing?
It was actually Richard Feynman. He actually said that in 1954 to his Harvard class.
And that's actually
because he has.
Why was I wrong? Is it because people are more prepared than they would be, or is
I just told you?
I know.
Okay.
But also it's like the acceleration.
Edward, can I talk, please? Thank you. We just went over why you were wrong, right?
Yes.
You said why is crime down? I said where's crime? The vast majority of crimes committed. They're committed on the street, right?
Yes.
And basically, if nobody's on the street, who you gonna rob?
No. All right. I can see my point. Never forget I said any of it.
Okay.
No, because a lot of people bought a lot of guns.
It's a good question. And I didn't disagree with you as you walk. People think I'm beating up on people. I'm actually just walking you through your own logic.
Yeah,
you answered your own question.
There's nothing wrong with that, man. There's nothing wrong with that, Archer.
I'm actually trying to teach people how to think. Okay,
right.
Walk yourself through your logic. Because a lot of people, well, BGS, how do you do what you do? I do this with everything with every theory that I come up with, right? No matter how wild it is or how much I think is correct, I have to walk myself through the logic.
Yeah.
I always start, well, why would somebody do something like this, right? That's the first thing I ask. Okay, this happened, and I say, so why would somebody actually do this? You know, why would somebody actually invade invade Ukraine, right? Or start a Ukrainian war, or invade Libya, or invade Syria, right? The thing is, why? Why would you? Why would all these very smart people with all this data do something like get together and do something like this? It's got to be a reason. And my job is to find out why. And once I find out why, then the rest you can actually work from why, and then basically it goes from to why to the how, and all those pieces in between will actually start to fit. That's what you do with everything. It's always a why. Why did somebody commit crime? Okay. And then how did they commit crime? And then all those things have to come together. But go ahead.
Yeah, and that's what it comes back to. It's not, I get that if you're new to stuff and asking questions, because at one point, I was new on this channel. Like, I remember like a lot, and I was asking questions to kind of work with stuff. I get all that, but the thing that kind of annoys me is what you have people that they're not here to like sharpen steel or get their steel sharpen steel, kind of like Archer. Now Archer can take that and say, okay, that makes sense, I can apply that in other things, the Archer might apply that to. I call it the am I full of shit test. That's what I was talking about. But what happens with a lot of folks is that's not what they come here for. They come here because they believe their religion, the religion of their bullshit, and then they want to basically battle rap on here, and then they get mad when they start losing. And look, there's people I fuck with heavy that I disagree on certain things, and certain things where I just put it to I don't know. But that's what I see constantly. And the thing is, with black men in particular, I'm talking about black men in particular because we ain't got nowhere to hide. Women can hide behind their vagina and shit like that. Men can't. You gonna feel the full weight of you being wrong as a black man. You really don't get second and third chances. So for dudes, you gotta want to sharpen steel. You gotta want to say, I want to be right, or I want my shit to be logical and make sense. Not I have this theory, I want to believe it, and if I believe it hard enough, it's gonna be true. That like men cannot move through the world like that because the world is gonna fuck you up. Because eventually you're gonna deal with something that ain't gonna make you look stupid. They're gonna take advantage of that shit. And they're gonna use what you think in order to bend you to their will, and then you gonna be mad, but you're gonna be fucked by them.
Yeah. And like I said, when I bring people up here, I'm not trying to embarrass you. In fact, a lot of people say I'm actually patient with you because I'm asking you questions about your logic. I'm not berating you and say you don't know shit, you stupid motherfucker, and blah blah blah. Get off my channel. I'm not doing that. I'm asking you questions. I mean, I think
that's how I am.
Yeah, because I could easily say that. Like even with the young lady. Okay, she asked a few questions, but she kept up throwing out things that she hadn't read. Right. And it's like you're an expert, and he said you had to ask what's pressure, but you're going to actually say what World War II was about. You don't know what pressure was.
And there's a difference between dudes that actually know more than somebody, and women gotta learn this too, and dudes that just know how to talk like they think they know some shit on some I'm trying to get the draws type shit. Yeah. Because women be falling into that too. That's why they always get mad. But I believed everything he said, and he just took control of my soul and my heart. It's because people be giving themselves to that, and that's what game is. And folks, a lot of these dudes, Polite's a perfect example of that shit.
When men are looking, I always go back to esoteric. When men are looking for women to carry their emotions, right? Women are looking for the opposite. They're looking for men to actually carry their logic. So the way they want to think logically, they'll pick a man that thinks that way. That's what normally happens. So if they want
that makes a lot of sense.
They're gonna pick a man that's hotep, that believes in whatever kind of esoteric religion there is, blah blah blah. That's really esoteric guys attract those kind of women. They want that man.
You just explained Derek Jackson.
What Derek Jackson actually validates these women through a male logical lens. He actually makes
he has an audience.
Yeah, he has an audience. He takes women's feelings and frustrations and puts them into male logic and makes them sound good. Yeah. Even though we can say this bullshit, but they don't feel that way.
He's an emotional dope dealer.
I told you he was a simp pimp.
And if he wouldn't do it, somebody else would.
There's a lot of people that do it. They just don't do it on YouTube. Me and Lindy actually had a theory that we can't actually put out into the ether about this coronavirus.
Do it.
Okay, save it for the Patreon.
It actually is on Patreon. It's on the stream I actually did on Patreon.
I gotta go rebuy it.
But we're not gonna put it out to the ether because it's out there, and if it's true, then yeah. the indicators, the only the why, that's the only why that we can actually think of for all these confluence of entities coming together for this one particular thing. And if you think about it, it makes sense. But the thing is, there's no data or facts or anything behind any of that shit.
Sell that Patreon. No, I'm about to go check it out.
Oh, it's on there. It's on there. I don't really sell it.
Yeah, Jason Black. Yeah, Jason Black got a Patreon now, man. The dark arts.
He's gonna make some money because like 70% of his audience is women. They're gonna pay.
Oh, he know how to sell it. Yup. And the videos he's been putting out on YouTube and like the cutouts are yup.
Oh
yep.
Yeah. Yeah. He gonna make he gets like a 1,500 people on his stream because most of them are women.
True.
He gonna sell. He's better than Derek Jackson. I can tell you that.
Yeah, because he got a better balance of giving them. He knows how to give them the business without like triggering their tripwires.
Yeah,
very good at doing that.
Yeah. He has a good balance between carrot and stick.
What's going on, y'all?
Hey,
what's going on?
What's up, Valdez?
Greetings.
I saw you were giving them that work, man, earlier.
Oh yeah.
No, I saw that RB. No, I gotta say this, Angry Man. That shit, with you and RBR, that shit should have been on a Patreon because that shit would have been worth throwing $5-10 on. You're one of the few people I've ever seen to almost break his fucking logic bullshit computer, man. Because he was smoking. I was like, get that shit. Fuck that shit.
I did it one time when I was on his stream and he was so frustrated he didn't even get mad.
RBR is crazy. Man. It's hard to handle. It's hard to deal with his crazy because like the shit he throws. He's like a drunken. What's that? Not Jet Li, but you know what I'm saying. The drunken boxer thing. Because he hits you with like, what the fuck, man. Anyway, I'll back off.
Have patience.
With RBR, you gotta ignore most of what he say. You gotta find the things. You got to find certain things and latch on to it and just ignore the rest of it.
Yeah, you do.
Right.
That nigga is like Darth Jar Jar Binks.
RBR nonsense and then get to the. It's like going through the Death Star. You know what I'm saying? You got to get to the heart of the matter. Then once you hit it, then he got no.
You ever see a guy fight a guy that bobs and weaves, and you try to wait. You try to time him to where he's actually on balance in the center.
Yeah,
that's what you hit him. That's RBR. You can't all that weaving and stuff like that. Just got to back up and wait till he kind of centers himself to throw a punch him, then hit him.
Yeah, he'll make you
and he can't take no damn punch either.
He can't take no punch. Yeah,
yeah. Glass
If
Joe.
you hit him directly, he gonna be real and it's a wrap.
Yeah.
What was Archer saying about crime though?
Oh no, he was asking why crime is down during the lockdown. And this is walking through his logic. I said, "Where's because the DC, me and DC were telling me where's most crimes committed?" I said, "On the street, right?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Who's not on the street? People."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't commit no crime if ain't nobody out.
Ain't nobody out. I will see. We know that, right? To us, that's obvious, right? It wasn't obvious. I said, "How many criminals do you know, man?" He said, "I don't know that many." I said, "That's why."
He think is at the Walking Dead level where people just basically bunkered in the house. There's no more government, and then you can just run up and just get things and just start to run out, without being basically dealt with.
See what he don't like. I've been talking about the crime rate getting ready to go up, but what he has to realize is the crime rate is not going to go up until people have to come out because they don't have no food.
Yeah,
right.
If they have to come out because they're out of food, and they start forming little hunting parties, then crime will go up. But at that point,
the shit hits the fan. Then get out of
by that point, ain't nobody gonna be measuring the crime at that point.
Basically, you'll know. Okay, if crime is getting ready to tick up because people are getting desperate, then you're gonna see National Guard on the street before it even happens.
Now I will say this though.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this though. The wolves are itching. I will say that.
Yeah,
because when I go out, I do see them lurking.
Yeah.
I see them lurking, but they not. See, they waiting. See, a lot of them are waiting for the shit to hit the fan to where the police force is exhausted.
Yeah.
Because if the police force is exhausted, then they can do what they need to do without having to worry about the police response.
Yeah, and plus there's another thing about people not being out. Basically, the wolves out there actually hide in sheep's clothing. They actually blend in with everybody else, so you can't spot them easily. But the thing is, when there's nobody out, they're easy to spot.
Yeah, like, what are you doing out here right now?
What you doing out here?
I've been waiting on you.
Keep it up. I did put them black gloves on and that bandana. I said, shit, I said that. See that nigga walking up, click.
And see that's the point. And I told everybody that. I said right now, if anybody is out, it's
you better be
lurking.
Better loaded,
You're not gonna know because it's not conspicuous now for you to be walking around with a mask on.
Right.
That's true.
So, but the thing is, people have still been able to go to the grocery store and get some of the things they need. So, but what I think, in my personal opinion, is if the crime does go up, it's going to be after that second wave.
Yeah.
If they fuck around and shut everything down the way you can't get nothing, then you got to worry.
Well, that's like they actually did it smartly. They still allow you to go out and take care of your basic needs, right? Shopping, getting food, that kind of stuff. They still allow you to actually do that. If they actually completely locked it down, then you would have a problem. But they didn't do that. Yeah. They left the valve open just a little bit to relieve the pressure.
Yeah,
which is smart.
Yeah, now, if he's concerned, I heard him say something about people buying all these guns. If he's concerned about that, you should be concerned about that. This is going to be a heavily armed. This country is going to be even more armed than it was before after this shit.
Oh yeah.
Basically, if we've already gamed this kind of stuff. If they really want to eliminate people and take over, what they do is basically let things collapse and let the wolves and the sheep fight it out. You see, and just sweep up the leftovers.
What's left,
which makes sense. And then that's what the body bags and the disposable coffins and the trains are for. Not for the living and for the dead.
Matter of fact, oh my God, BGS, if you would have, I don't know if you saw the show the other day when I started going back and forth with Negroes about this 5G shit, right?
Oh no, I didn't see that one.
Oh my God. So it's like, I'm like, well, why would they do X, Y, Z and this, that, and the third? And it was like, for control. I'm like, okay, control over what? Like, what do you, like, give me the end game. What is the ultimate goal of them conspiring and doing this and that? And every answer they kept giving me, they're talking about, well, they want control. They want to do this. They want to do that. And I said, look, man, I said, if they wanted to control the masses of people, first, they could just go ahead and do some martial law shit if they really wanted to. Like the fucking original COVID issue was enough for them to go ahead and issue martial law. I said the reason why they're not just gonna overtly try to be on some Nazi Germany type shit is because you're talking about a country that believes in bearing arms. You got a shitload of militias out here. You got a shitload shit. The average white boy could start a militia right now with just what he got in his house.
Yeah, sure.
So they're gonna have if they were to try to go that route. I mean, look at it. They just ask people to wear masks and stay in the house, and they already snapping the fuck out.
Whiners and pussies.
Yeah, they're already ready to go the fuck off. They got motherfuckers out here talking about some give me liberty or give me death. I said, God damn.
That is true. That's crazy, man.
These motherfuckers is not playing.
Yeah, they don't want their civil liberties to be stepped on. That is a declaration of especially when you get to these libertarians in certain parts of the country where they do believe in that action, boss. They do.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Michigan, the Michigan militia is probably the worst.
Yeah. This is what they prepared for. This is stuff that they look forward to.
If you doubt it, go back to the 70s. Listen to the Turner Diaries.
Oh man, don't even see. He go. He's
That's a wild book.
You just do it if you Turner Diaries. Woof.
And that was in the mid 70s.
That was in the 70s. Yeah.
We're not talking about
serious
the
stuff.
2000. Talking about the mid 70s. This is almost 50 years ago.
Yeah, serious stuff too, man. That's a serious series of books.
And that was about the Nixon going off the gold standard.
Right.
That's what that was about.
Timothy McVeigh standard.
So what?
I said Timothy McVeigh, his motivation.
Yeah, that's they found.
That's an extension of the Turner Diaries.
Right.
Well, Timothy McVeigh was actually a response to Ruby Ridge.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because Ruby Ridge happened before that. Go ahead.
You know what I was watching last night on Netflix? They've been really amping this shit up. It's almost like they want some shit to happen. Like I was watching Waco on Netflix last night.
Yeah.
Like they've been putting a lot of that shit on Netflix lately.
Oh, they just
like
dropped
quarantine.
that?
Yeah.
Like, if you're gonna show it, this is the time to show it because I mean, really, it will actually allow people to actually blow off steam rather than amp them up.
Hey, Angerin.
Yeah.
I got a question for you. You did a live stream with BGS a couple weeks back, and you mentioned a movie that I've been trying to find the name of. It was about a Hungarian gangster or a Czechoslovakian gangster, where some killers came to his family and they had his family hostage, and he ended up shooting them because he said
Usual Suspects.
Usual Suspects.
That's old. Usual Suspects.
I've been trying to find that.
Yeah.
Usual Suspects.
Yeah, that's it. You can find that anywhere. Yeah. Kaiser Soze.
That motherfucker was
blooded. Yeah. The greatest. What he said. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled.
That he did not exist.
He didn't exist. Yeah, that's Kaiser Soze. Yeah.
And I've been sitting in front of you testifying this whole time, and you didn't even know it. But you're gonna let me go though.
Yep. Yeah. Walk out straighten out that leg at the end. That's some cold
that's Kaiser Soze is the gynocracy.
Yeah. It is.
Wow.
It is. They still trying to gaslight it. They don't exist. No, it's actually you and the white men are oppressing us.
Yep.
But we come, like I was listening to Ali Emmett. He said, we come from a group of men that hate us. So you can actually go to white men that enslaved you. Okay.
She's still out here.
She's back out. I was actually listening. She's back.
I remember her from way back.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. You're talking about resurrecting.
Yeah, instead of a dude that's disabled, it's a chick in a business suit, and by the time she get to the end of the block, she got on a dress and shit.
let me see if I can find this this cartoon that I just pulled up. You're gonna love this one, man. You and DC gonna love this one, Angry Man. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, here it is. You guys gonna love this one. Let me share my screen real quick.
Roll that bean footage.
You're gonna love this. You're gonna love that. The new Black Power. Abby Phillips, Jimmy Alcindor, and April Ryan. 1968, and black gloves and a microphone.
You outdid yourself with this one.
Wow.
You're going to love that one. That is the new Black Power.
Wow. That's some bullshit. That's fucked up. Hey, I've been noticing.
Rodney says,
I've been noticing that that ever since they handed out the stimulus checks, and they're talking about opening up the country again.
Yeah,
I noticed these women then got bold. They running their mouth again. They got comfortable again.
Yeah,
he said
temporarily. Yeah.
Yeah, 1,200 only gonna last so long. So
they running their mouth again. They start to pop shit.
They think they're gonna go back to work and everything's gonna go back to normal.
Right.
That's what they think. even though the economy hasn't opened back up yet. So they're gonna actually talk a little shit. They're not talking the gang and shit like they were.
They poking their head out.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you know they are. You know they are. They're gonna poke their head out. But the thing is there any conviction behind it?
Hell no.
That's what I'm talking about. There ain't no conviction.
They don't realize the economy was already in dire straits. There's no way that the shit is gonna freaking recover by the time that damn second wave come in the fall.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Angry Man. I think that second wave is going to be some things that we're going to be really shocked on, because once it mutates, I think that there's going to be people that may have not been sick originally that may fall.
Yeah,
and it may be some shock waves that go along with it.
They said that their estimates of the spread is only like maybe 2 or 3%. Or maybe less than that, less than 2 or 3%. So we haven't got to the like 80% infection rate for herd immunity.
Right.
So we have no idea what that's going to look like.
Yeah. So that's the thing. That's the thing.
I was really hoping that would be like the on the road scenario, personally.
Say what again?
I was really hoping it'd be something more like what is it? The Road scenario, the Cormac McCarthy book.
Oh, good Lord! Oh God!
Hell no!
Oh hell no!
Hell no!
There you go with that black pill shit. There you go. What's the matter with you, Lindy? You must be.
What's wrong with you, Angry Man? You're ready. You're prepared.
Nah, I ain't prepared for that shit.
Hey, Rodney, what are you doing, man? Are you able to talk? Because Rodney was the one I showed in the nurse's uniform. Rodney, are you able to talk? If you're able to talk, get up here, man. But go ahead, Lindy.
Let me tell you something. I would rather have zombies than that road situation, bro. Shit.
That
road shit was from a nuclear fallout and everything was dying, right?
Yeah, they had to find like fertile land and fertile ground to even sleep properly. I mean, yeah, it was crazy. That's the one with the son and the son and the father on the road, right? Yeah, walking around.
I think you're thinking more of the Book of Eli.
Well, there's a lot of them like that, though.
Yeah,
the road
was like that too.
Well, the road they never showed. Well, in the movie, I didn't read the book, but in the movie they never showed what happened. But they alluded to the fact that there was some sort of nuclear war because like all of the trees and shit was dying.
Yeah, they were barren.
Like everything was barren and shit. And you had cannibalism because remember the dude and his son, his wife, I think she had got cabin fever and she just wanted to go out and she just ran out and didn't come back.
Oh yeah.
And, you know, there was like dudes going around grabbing women and children and shit. And
that's when it's not even safe to be inside your house, because if you steal, you die because people are going to run up in there. They're just going to come and take it. You feel what I'm saying?
You know what wakes me up at night is it will be more like a 12 monkey scenario.
Right.
Where you have a virus that goes around that they can't get rid of and it's always in the air and you simply can't go outside anymore.
Nothing you can do. Yeah.
Except stay on the ground.
Right.
And you have to actually go outside. You got to be in a biosuit to go outside.
Well, they probably should just put CRISPR back in the box.
You're funny, Lindy. You're funny. What I'm saying is the CRISPR was equivalent to the Manhattan Project, man.
Singularity too. Yeah, that's the same thing.
And basically, you don't have to be a nuclear physicist to actually put shit together anymore.
Right.
They're actually allowing high school students actually play with CRISPR online.
Yeah. Remember they were doing the whole gene and the protein folding.
Yeah. Oh yeah, folding online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing that crowdsourcing thing.
Yeah. Basically they just with the folding app actually as a screensaver, what it's doing is actually harnessing the power of your GPU and your CPU. Like a big ass supercomputer.
Yeah.
They're actually doing it right now, honey, for a vaccine for COVID-19. They're actually doing the same thing right. They're still doing it.
How much is like a system like that cost to use CRISPR in?
Oh, I have no clue about what the price of it is, but it's nothing to a state-run sponsor. In fact, one of our subs, she works for a local pharmaceutical lab. That's what she's trained on. That's what she does all day. She's on CRISPR. So, and she's the one that alerted me that this don't look too good. This looks funny, you know. So she alerted me real early because I asked her. I said, "What do you think?" She had already looked at it, right? She said this has aspects that don't make sense. I said, "Oh, okay." And then I asked Don Calypso, and he says, "Yeah, it looks like a fuck up." And then I have a brother. He's actually in DC, Anwar, Dr. Anwar. He's a toxicologist, and basically, you know, he actually confirmed this is a right, even though he doesn't believe that it's man-made. Okay, he disagrees with the other two. And then when I asked Nicole, I said, "Well, Dr. Anwar says it's not man-made. It couldn't be man-made." She said, "Oh," she said, yeah." I said, okay. So this is a lady that designs these, works all day designing this shit. So when she says it, if she says it, I believe her. All the people that I know, if she says it, it's Nicole, this, that, and the other, because everything I've asked her, she's been 100% spot on.
Yeah, it's her job. That's what
it's
she
her
does.
job. It's what she does.
Right.
So when people say, "Oh yeah," I don't know you, man. I don't trust you. I said I have one person that I do trust, and she's been 100% spot on because she does the work every day. And who are you? So sometimes I can be an asshole about that.
Well, BGS, thanks for letting me come up, man. I'm gonna let you guys rock out. I think you guys having a great discussion.
So you got a recording of that? You probably don't.
Nah, I don't. We probably do need to do that, man, for sure, man. Yo, peace out to the panel, Lindy, Onyx, Centennial, and Angry Man. It was a pleasure. Man, I see you guys next time, man. Back to the outer rim I go.
A type 2 CRISPR is the second generation of CRISPR. Look up CRISPR-Cas9. I think it was a CRISPR-Cas12 or something like that. Is that the new one?
I can't remember. So.
Cas9 is the first one, but I think it's 12. I'm not sure, but you can look up CRISPR. In fact, they've been saying this for years. This come Obama said he closed the program. Okay, back in 2013. That's what he says. But we're finding out that it's more like outsource the program than actually, which came back to bite them. That's what it looks like. But that remains to be seen. I said, what's up? We just got word Obama's concerned about how Latinos feel about giving black people reparations. Well, yeah, the Democrats do. Democrats think that affirmative action should be for everybody, and it's not for the people that actually fought for it, which I have to give what's her name credit for, even though she's a conservative Republican. And what's her name?
Coulter.
Ann Coulter. That's the first thing I ever agreed with Ann Coulter on in her whole entire career. She said it. My mouth just dropped. I said that come out of her mouth. She said affirmative action is for black people. So what? And she said it again in front of 5 Democrats that disagreed with her. So, oh shit. Rock my world. Ann Coulter said this. But that shows you how conservative people actually feel. That they don't always agree, but some things if you're gonna give it to somebody, don't give it to people that didn't deserve it. Go ahead, Lenny.
Oh no, I was just gonna say she drops little jewels like that every once in a while.
I was stunned. I played that to the hilt. I said, I don't believe she even said that. I said, I'm glad I didn't hear it when it was live. I'd have ran with it. I'd have been like Barry Sanders in the open field.
Yeah, I'm about to step down. Y'all take it easy, all right? Be safe out here.
Hey, Honest, what's going on, man? You ain't said nothing, man. What you got to work, man? You got to work?
Nah, I'm actually on a different schedule. I used to do a 5-2, so now we're doing a 2-5. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
But yeah,
All right.
you take it easy, BGS, Lindy, Angry Man.
All right, take it easy, Onyx.
All right. Michael, what's going on, man?
What's going on, guys?
Hey, what's up, Michael?
Hey, so basically, coronavirus is 5G, man. You hear that?
BGS.
Yes, sir.
I got the spirit of BGS right now. Not today. not today. Angry Man don't piss me off.
What do you do this time?
Man, that man said the reason why he goes on his Red Table Talk. He said the reason why you bitches is not supposed to be in charge. I paraphrase.
Mm-hmm.
It's because you motherfuckers just fucked up the whole world.
I heard that. I did hear that.
I said, nigga, I am using that for forever. If I hear one bitch get out of line.
Yeah, I know what he wanted to say. He didn't say because he's trying to be PC. As far as Valdez can be PC, he said if you want to know who fucked up the world, you know there was a bitch behind it somewhere. That's what he wanted to say. That's what he wanted to say. He didn't say that. He's trying to be politically correct. He said it in a nice way.
Yeah, man. These cats is. I even got a friend of mine now. He's saying, man, this ain't really as big a deal. They're padding the numbers. I said, well, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. I said, think about it. I said, what, 500,000 people ascended upon the hospitals? We ran out of supplies that quick. Yeah. We ain't even got. I said, we still ain't got supplies for this country. Go and open it back up. I'm like you. Let them go back to work. That's what they want.
Go back to work. Yeah, just go ahead and if you drop, if you drop, you drop.
Yeah. Well, that was my thing, anyways. I mean, my thing was he needed to pull back and just let people drop. Period. But now y'all want to just go infect each other and be around each other so bad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, before you wouldn't even look at each other in public. You had your face down in the phone. Now you begging to come communicate with people.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. And they think that this is a worldwide elaborate Illuminati hoax. That's what they think.
Mm-hmm.
They're always trying to find reasons why it's a hoax. And this is, like I said, imagine if he had shut down the country in January.
Yeah, I know.
And this is almost May. The niggas would have lost it. Well, white folks would have lost their fucking mind. Then niggas would be soon follow them right after that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I had called a friend of mine and we were talking about this. She a damn teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, thanks, Mike. I said, for what? She's like, I wasn't even thinking like that. I'm like, you a teacher. You only teaching half of your students right now anyways. What the fuck they need you for? I said, y'all finna get a reawakening when this thing get open back up. When they realize they don't need y'all to operate this big ass system, they can trim this thing down a little bit.
Oh yeah,
big companies are gonna do that.
They're running experiments right now to see how the effectiveness of the AIs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
they don't need you at work.
Yeah, I noticed with my grandson, the AI is starting to get smarter.
Yeah, well, I brought you up because I was talking about how your grandson is using these AI systems for these teaching tools already.
Yeah.
And she was like, what? I says, you're a math teacher. They might need you because it's just hard to kind of just read or watch a video and get math, right?
Yeah.
You got to come at it from different angles to expound on that.
Yeah.
But English, literature, and fucking history.
Yeah.
You know, fucking teacher for that shit. Then video will take you over there.
And I always tell them technology doesn't get worse; it gets better.
It gets better. Exactly.
And if it's not ready now, it could be 2, 3, 4 years. It's going to get better, and it will be ready.
Oh yeah. Well, now you're hearing a lot of these women saying they enjoy being home.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay. Yeah, I said, you know what I find funny? So she's running around talking about she don't need a man. I said, and I was about to get in her ass and be like, well, hell, even your mama with a dude that beat her ass, and that bitch, at least she know to get a fucking man. She need a man.
See, you an old black redneck, man. So I know.
Yeah, look at you. I'm a black neck nigga. I'm for real.
Okay, you see, man, because you from Texas too.
Yeah,
you know what's up. Okay,
yeah, I'm from the South. I don't want to hear that shit. I know when shit goes south in the South.
You know what's up.
All right.
Yeah.
Shit.
And you know why they didn't get in line because they loved that nigga either.
Yep. Goddamn right.
They got in line because they needed his ass. It's not that hard
Look,
to
man,
figure out.
I went to guns range yesterday. I caught the last clip of Angry Man's thing. I was at the guns range myself. Me and two other brothers was walking in. One brother was buying a gun, and it looked like a brother he looked like he was a regular, and that was it. That store was full of white folks, Middle Easterns, because we got a bunch of Indians over here. So, but in Middle Easterns and shit, gun store full of guns, like because they just opened up the store. But yeah, ain't nobody in there buying this shit up, man. These like Angry Man said, okay, y'all can play around with this shit, lawless shit if y'all want to. Wait till it get bad.
Yeah, well, you know,
wait till this shit get bad.
We hoping for the people adhere to their better angels, man.
Hey, well, you know that only happens as long as food's in this stuff. You know that.
Well, they're not. I don't think they're gonna run out of food. They're not. They haven't stopped producing food, even though that's like they're gonna lock it before while the crops are still in the ground before they have to harvest it. In India, they're actually starting to ease the restriction because they need the farmers to actually go back and actually produce the food. Otherwise,
well, no. I agree they're not gonna run out of food. I'm just talking about, you know, now you hear people, you know, crying and complaining they can't even go shop.
They don't have no money.
So
yeah.
They ain't got no money, man.
So they're gonna run out of money before they run out of food.
That's what's happening. With people are asking me about the meat in the meat in the stores, right? I said the problem is not on the producer side. The problem is on the consumer side because they have no place to bring the food to market. They're running out of freezer space and refrigerator space to store the stuff.
So the store, so it's just going bad. Same for your farmers.
Well, the thing is that they can't slaughter the animal because if you slaughter the animal, you have no place to put it. Meat's gonna rot, right?
Yeah.
But the other thing is you're not making any money, so you have to continue to feed these things, right? These animals. So you're caught between a rock and a hard place. So what's gonna happen? They're gonna take a chance to slaughter the animals and find, you know, a refrigerator or freezer space to actually store it. So you're going to see a lot of different strategies trying to make money off this. I mean, same thing with oil. You know, like I said, I didn't actually show, but the other day, oil was actually closed at minus $35 a barrel.
Yep.
Because they had to pay somebody to store it. There's not enough storage space for the oil because people aren't using it.
Yeah, when it comes to slaughtering the animals, though, it's not like the animals are just going to retail stores. You're forgetting restaurant buys these products.
Yeah.
Hotels buy these products, and they're not even in business right now. So it's like the market's just down all across the board.
Somebody just said they run out of money. They're not able to pay rent next month. I can't remember. It wasn't on Cheesecake Factory. It was a new one. Restaurant. So, I mean, because, you know, they purchase their food ahead of time on the trends and prediction of what people are going to eat.
And when you interrupt the flow, the natural flow of buying and selling, like he said on Margin Call, I said, you know, our business is buying and selling. If there's one without the other, this game comes to an end and right quick. And that's what's happening right now.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was trying to tell a friend of mine. That I was like, you guys do not understand how this system is built. What you think of it as being built is nice. I says, but the flow of money has to continually happen for this shit to work.
Otherwise,
right now, even just getting like supplies, and all this kind of stuff. I saw a guy. He was saying he can't even get the banks to push the checks through.
Yeah,
because they're like, why are you walking in with a 12 million? Well, I'm trying to supply these people. Can you please clear this shit so I can order product? But you know, it's
because the banks aren't making any money because there's no velocity of of money, velocity of currency. Money's not moving, so the bank can't sip their little, dip their little cup in a stream and make their little money because that's what the bank
that's what I was telling a friend. I said what they'll do is a check like that, they'll hold that for 3 to 5 days, maybe a week, make a little interest, and then send it on.
And then send it on, So, but with things freezing up like that, because banks are already freezing up, right? The economy is already starting to freeze up, and basically this particular bugger actually grounded to a halt, which is why I know they didn't do this shit on purpose. Because exactly. If they did, if the people that are in charge did shit on purpose, you need to get them out of office real quick because they're too stupid to hold this office. Yeah.
Well, that's what Angry Man was saying on one of the shows. He kept asking these niggas about this 5G shit, What makes you niggas so important that these niggas want to come find out what you do?
Right.
What are you doing specifically that makes you so valuable that a nigga will stop, come lock you down, put a fucking chip in your arm, actually spend money on you?
You know what? Valdez.
You know,
Valdez is the only person on YouTube can say that shit and get away with it. I can never say that shit on a live
you
stream.
can, because you get, man, them niggas will get so butthurt. Them niggas will get so sensitive, man.
Man, they be hanging up BGS dolls and effigy, man. But Valdez is the only Negro on YouTube who can say that shit on a live stream and get away with it. Man, that takes. But he has to have like 50-pound balls to get away with some shit like that, though.
They want to control us. That's all they want to do. They just want to control us.
I know you laughing, nigga, but you know it's true. He laughing in the background. You know it's true. He laughing in the background. Go ahead.
You want to know why that is, VGS?
You got 50-pound balls, nigga. That's why.
Nah, because them niggas know I push the button. They can't say shit. Push the button on their ass. They gonna listen. They gonna take this medicine and like it.
Because you know I can't say no shit like that on the stream, man.
Nah. They'll be mad, hurt if you say that shit. Yeah. They already be hurt when you be telling them what's getting ready to happen. They already be mad.
They already be mad, yo.
I can't even be nice to them without them.
Well, that's why I asked him, Angry Man and BGS. That's what I asked him. I says, bro, how the hell do y'all figure out a complicated, and I do mean complicated, conspiracy theory? Multiple, like if you go read some, like I forgot where's the last one I read when that maybe it was in 48 Laws of Power, where they talk about how they fooled this man, calling this businessman, right? And how elaborate it was. This nigga set up a con just to con this dude, right? But you niggas is broke and can't get up on a dead white supremacist. You can't get up from up under that shit. That's imaginary. But all of a sudden, you of all people done figured out how to a conspiracy theory. Like this shit just it boggles my mind, man. It just
on the order of what's it, Bernie? What was Bernie Madoff?
Yeah, man.
Bernie Madoff's running around here.
But see, bro, that's why I said what I said the other day. When I was like, first of all, if you talking about some Illuminati type ish, I said if you smart enough to figure out some ultra worldwide scheme, you would be running the country instead of complaining about it.
or be 6 feet under.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that goes back to what's wrong with black people. Like we have all the answers. We know everything.
You Borgen, Archer.
But we don't have the answers to
you Borgen, Archer. Can you hear me? You're Borgen.
Borgen, man.
But they put that on display. I didn't watch the series. I remember that episode that you brought up about black men, black women. When on Scandal, when that nigga said, "Bitch, you could at least win for president."
Yeah, Secretary of
You
State.
niggas is just happy to figure it out, as opposed to fucking be on top. Crazy, man. Tell them what they won, Bob. Shit.
Yo, you talking about Papa Pope?
Yeah, Papa Pope.
Man.
Yeah, that was cold shit, man.
Papa Pope is my hero, man.
Yeah, he's a cold piece of work, man. Especially when he told told the president, "You're not qualified for the hand of my daughter." He said you are a boy. Not a man. I'm a man. You're a boy.
I hated that. Oh, sorry.
Go
I
ahead,
absolutely detested that show.
Mm-hmm.
I would just sit there and watch it just to hear Papa Pope.
Yeah.
It's like it was just like soul affirming.
How you think I found out about it? My girl liked that show and I don't like to watch that show. But one day I heard him talking, and I had to do a double take. I had to do a Scooby Doo, like, who was that?
First time I was like,
back and listen to this, bro.
Yeah, at first time I was like, they're allowing a black man to say these lines on television. That's what I was, threw me back, and I was like, oh, okay.
Let me tell you something, bro. That is a sign that that white supremacy is dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man.
When you see them saying certain stuff on TV, bro, they had a black God on American God schooling niggas. You know that's a sign.
Yeah.
But Angry Man, you can't be right. Cause I mean, just cause Black Panther came out and all these little white kids wanted to be a black man, you must be wrong. No, I don't believe you.
Man, let me tell you something. When I was a kid, they would have never allowed no Black Panther movie to come out.
Nope.
Fuck no.
That's why they didn't. That's why one didn't come out.
You're like, what? A movie that's 90%, the cast is 90% black? Hell no.
I mean, we were lucky to get Action Jackson.
I grew up in that era. Look, in BGS, I grew up in that era where they didn't even allow black music to be played in the grocery store.
Oh, hell no. Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Nope. Or NBA games or anything like that. Yep.
Yeah, I was in the grocery store. I was in the grocery store one day and heard Sade playing, and I just thought about it for a second. I said, wait a minute. I used to do this shit.
I was in Home Depot one day, and I thought that I was listening to like Top 40 radio back in the 70s. They're playing all the funk hits. I was just standing in the aisle, and people just sitting there, just nodding their heads, like, yeah. They just totally forgot like what they came in for.
Yeah, you would get some hits like Sly and the Family Stone back in the day. You get some people like that. You may get a James Brown tune, but it wasn't, it wasn't the standard. Earth, Wind and Fire was popular as far as elevator music. That's where they made a lot of their money.
Yeah.
Because it actually appealed to white. I remember the first time I went to an Earth, Wind and Fire concert right back in the, what was it, 77, 78, something like that. And I walked in, nothing but white people. I said, God damn. Like 90% white folks. I said, God damn. Yeah, but me and Lindy gonna keep our theory to ourselves.
Yeah, man.
What theory is that?
About
hey,
why
that's on the stream, right?
It's on the Patreon stream.
All right, I'm gonna go look at it.
Yeah.
It's high octane speculation.
It's highly speculated. Yeah, we just blue sky stuff that what could happen, right?
Okay.
We can't
hell, a third of your subscribers should be on that damn Patreon anyways. I told you to raise the price, man. These niggas is getting gold for cheap, I told you that, man.
That's how come. That's the only place it could actually be said. It couldn't say it on an open stream like this.
You act like you think niggas supposed to appreciate shit.
Nigga, that might not a Patreon supporter.
Well, you know what, my Patreon, one thing my Patreons, when I left, they didn't want me to come back. So don't give them that.
Yeah, I told you. Yeah, I told you raise that fucking price. I'd pay. I told Angry Man that shit. I said if him, Grinch, and Kevin Sams had put like a little broadcast together, hour back to back for 3 hours, I'd pay $50 a month for that shit. I didn't pay $100 a month. Like that shit's just too entertainment. It's what I listen to every fucking night anyways. That's just me. I'd pay for it. Because I'm like, at the end of the day, most of these niggas out here is like you said before, because I didn't believe y'all when y'all was saying this shit, that niggas was listening to this face. I was like, nah, it's just, we just smart brothers and we just doing our thing. But the more I see these females coming, then when these niggas are dropping these articles, and then like Edgerman saying, you hear like D.L. Hewley say certain shit, and I'm like, nigga, no, don't nobody talk about no Strags, hyenas like this. No one did a fucking comparison like this in a long time, like ever. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, you niggas is listening.
Yeah, they had this white guy. He's a white conspiracy guy, right? Talked about China. He actually dropped one of my lines with Kobayashi Maru, and Don Clifton said somebody's listening to you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest with you, BGS. There's some people who I would say are straddling the fence as far as the alt-right is concerned
Mm-hmm.
that I listen to because you have to listen to your enemies every once in a while.
Mm.
And some of them they use your talking points. Not only your talking points, but a lot of your rhetoric and a lot of the things that you've talked about in the past. They talk about it openly.
Remember they used to use democratic and communist and stuff like that, and all of a sudden they changed to authoritarian. All of a sudden,
Right.
yeah, that was me.
Mm-hmm.
I did that. It wasn't on YouTube, but it was on another show I used to do on the internet.
Oh,
Okay.
And that's Quigley's work, authoritarian versus liberal.
right.
Even Obama actually, he did a speech before he left about authoritarian governments versus liberal governments. But I don't think I still have the. I'll actually put it up because I actually did it in a what do they call it? A mind manager. It I actually took Quigley's work and actually showed the difference between authoritarian countries versus liberal and liberal ideas and all that kind of stuff. I'll actually show you guys the mind map when I dig it up. I just don't have it handy right now. That was back in, when did I do that? It's got to be back in 2012 or something like that, 2011, 2012. Because a guy working for the DOD in Korea, he actually was listening to me talk about Half Tragedy and Hope. He said you should put this on YouTube and actually do shows on it. And then it's actually probably in one of my old Quigley videos. I do believe it might be. But he said you should put up on YouTube, and then he said you should do it in PowerPoint and demonstrate and stuff like that. And then a month later, hey, guess what? I got a promotion. I said, you motherfucker. Where's my cut?
At least
Yeah,
send me
and that's the thing that
No, he offered to pay me for it too. That's one thing. He said, you keep doing it, I'll pay you for it. I said, yeah, man, you're a buddy. I'm not gonna charge you for that shit.
I listen. I ain't listen to BGS. I don't know if that nigga made a deal with the black pill or not. Nigga, you ain't taking no money, no kind of way. I ain't believing you, man. Someone gonna have to put that shit in your bank account for you to take some money, man.
Well, the thing is, I always say, me being a Gnostic, enlightened being a Gnostic, and part of your uncti or part of your mission is to give back what you learned. That is your job because somebody else took their wisdom and gave it to you, and that's how you push the stuff forward. That's your mission. In other words, if you receive it, you learn from it, you develop it, it's your duty to give it back. So this is part of my mission.
Oh,
That's
hey, look, nigga, I'm giving it back, and whether they like it or not.
But certain the Patreon exists because there's certain things that certain people and certain things can't be on the public airways. It got to be behind at least a partial door, even though nothing's secret in the United States. I mean, absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
They hear it. The thing is, they don't care about you saying it. The thing is, how many people do listen to it? If it's I was actually on a small internet station and had like maybe hundreds of people listening to it at any one given time, then they weren't as worried about me then because really the only people that really listen for the most part are basically some conscious people and then people that are around, right? That are in certain circles that actually monitor the stuff. Okay. And those are people that actually listen. Okay. So now they're worried about this little closed circle because it's actually a closed circle. But the internet, when you have 35,000 subs and anybody at any time could be listening, that's when they worry about it. So when I put something out that's not really for the broader public, okay, that's when they get concerned. Okay. If I say something like what I said on my stream in Patreon, okay, that 50, 100 people watching, they're not worried about that. Okay. They're not really worried about that. When you get like 10,000 people watching, okay, you're a problem. Okay. You have to cut back on some of that stuff. So a lot of stuff like when me and Lindy talk, it's normally on my Patreon because some of the stuff we discuss is not really meant for the broader consumption.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Like the young lady that was on. Okay. Normally, I would actually put up with her because it's an open stream. I don't really care, and I actually entertain her questions.
Yeah.
Okay. But the thing is, one thing I don't like is that, okay, you can ask questions. You can ask questions about the subject, but don't start throwing out stuff like Okay.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Right.
that's that matter of fact speak.
Yeah. You know that World War II was caused because it was done on purpose. No, boo, no, it wasn't. Okay.
Yeah,
There's people
that's
that
just
would have
so
liked to start a war. Wars are not as easy to start as you think they are. Okay.
Yeah, you can't argue with Google Facts. Google Facts, tells it all. You gotta roll with them Google Facts.
Conspiracy facts.
Yeah, when you actually dig into the bowels of history, the more you find out that how messy it is. It's not as clean cut as people imagine it. It is extremely messy. Okay.
True, dude.
It's
What's going on, you guys?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's going on? Before you go in, let me hop off real quick. Appreciate you having me on. Hey, one quick question.
Yes, sir.
To Rodney. Hey, Rodney, y'all got supplies, man, or y'all running out?
There's a black supply company that the federal government will not allow to sell. I don't know why. And he should sell it to black folks.
Yeah,
Start
I'm just
marketing.
trying to figure out. I was trying to ask Rodney see if they got supplies where they at. I saw him in his I saw him in his new super suit.
That tripped me out when I saw Rodney, because Rodney's normally, he's got his short sleeves on, man, and all that kind of stuff. When I saw Rodney gowned up like that, I said, "Oh shit, this is serious."
Oh yeah, he don't have a choice. Shit, I can only imagine what it's like to put them back to nursing homes and big facilities like that.
Yeah. So how often do you visit the facility now, Michael?
Hardly ever. I get tired of dealing with grown people complaining, so that's why I work for children. You know what I mean? I feel like if anybody gonna complain, it could be a kid up to a certain age, and even them, I don't let them fuss.
Okay, all right.
I mean, but it's what's what I see all riding. And I'm like, damn. Yeah. I'm gonna reach out to another friend of mine because she got to be going through it as well. Because she working like a 300 bed facility. So, and she just takes a floor, and they got about 3-4 floors or something like that. So. It's that stuff spreads rapidly in the nursing homes. Anything somebody gets in that nursing home is gonna spread rapidly. Because at the end of the day, you gotta keep your staff clean and you gotta keep your patients at
you. Yeah. And I'm hearing they're hiding the numbers behind the prison walls. People infected and people dying actually higher than actually reporting.
Wow. BJS, look, man, it's 5G, nigga. It's 5G. Never should have came to 5G. We all go back to 4G singular wireless. This shit go away.
Go back to landlines like
landlines.
like in the Watchmen, huh? Go back to landlines, huh?
I catch y'all on the next one, man.
All right.
I'll be in the chat.
All right, peace.
BJS, I was I watched that clip of the Vegas mayor and Anderson Cooper asking her the easiest, most softball question ever, and she folded with this corona thing, and I just thought, damn, we were right, and BTS was right. They are going to open the economy into hell with anybody that dies. They have decided it is money over people, and that's what it is. The competition against China over people. And if you die, you just die. If he dies, he dies.
Me and DC we didn't make a wager. We had a number. He predicted Monday, with this upcoming Monday, a week before the 1st. I said on the 1st, right? So he was right. So I said, you hit the number. So I was
look how many people. It's how many people. It's politicians and news anchors and now mayors and whatever. Go ahead, angry man. My bad. Go ahead.
You actually thought they cared about people.
Angry man.
Angry man's a street nigga. He knows they don't care about people.
Oh man,
they don't give a fuck about
angry man. It's not even that. It's the crassness. It's not because I'm not dumb. I'm a black man in America, right? So we know what it is. But the fact that you're not even like trying to save face or doing it in a slick way, like politicians are straight up coming out like, yo, we got to preserve the American way of life, and you know what they mean when they say that. It's just like, nigga, y'all just don't give a fuck.
Well, they probably calculated basically if we go ahead, Valdez. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, go ahead. No, I was gonna say the moment I knew what it was with America is when I was sitting in jail and got processed out, and the fucking CEO walked past, and I'm like, hey man, hey man, I'm processed. Y'all got to let me go. He said, shit, you ain't left yet. When he said that,
I said, oh, that's cold people work.
Wow.
That's
he
cold
said,
people
That's
work.
cold.
He said, you don't leave until we take you out of here. I don't care if your paperwork. Look, when he said that shit, that's when I knew how real it is, nigga. They don't give a fuck. They don't care.
Man.
Power does not care, man.
It doesn't.
It doesn't care.
Yeah, I had to go in my classroom and take damn near everything. I had to gut my whole class. We all had to go on the campus and just take everything out because I think they're gonna. They might even remodel some of the places.
Yeah.
Let alone clean it, but they're gonna take off the paint.
Oh shit.
Lift the floors up. I was hearing all kinds of stuff on that Zoom meeting.
Yeah. Really?
This is serious, man. They're putting billions of dollars in the school districts.
You know what? If like anybody else, say you went to your wife and they said they're gonna actually have to clean the house. They give you a whole bunch of money, right? More money than you expected. We might as well remodel, right? You get all this money.
Yeah.
If you wait too later, the money's not gonna be there. So guess what you're gonna do while the money's there?
Well, phase three. Oh, my bad.
No, go ahead.
Phase 3.5 has been approved. No stimulus money, y'all. That second check y'all thought was coming ain't coming.
Because it doesn't make any sense if you're gonna open the economy. It doesn't make sense.
Well, yeah.
The second part. That's just in case they didn't. In case something like New York went crazy, all of a sudden like 30,000 people just dropped within like a week. Then people get scared. You can't open the economy then, which is probably why they're gonna open it now before bodies really start to drop. Because if bodies really start to drop, then you're gonna have a lot of pushback.
Then do you think that they're gonna close it again? Maybe September-ish, maybe October-ish?
You know what? It could happen, but my gut saying is that.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. I said I think.
Oh wow,
you're borging a little bit.
Okay, my reception's bad. I got about 5 y'all.
Man, you gotta go where the 5G is, man.
Oh, y'all never gonna let that 5G thing die.
You got that 5G. You just have to risk the corona, man. You have to find the 5G.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Well, what I was gonna say is that see if this makes sense, Valdez, because you street nigga. See if this makes sense. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If say that you had to open the economy up at some point, right? You had to determine when. Do you wait until a whole lot of bodies drop, or do you say, let me get on it and get these niggas out here on the block before the bodies start to drop? They realize how much shit they're in.
I'm gonna try to get them out there first before they see how bad it really is, because you can't stop the money from flowing.
Yeah. And once that,
I explained that to dudes one time when I was talking about that book that I was reading. I said, yo, money is like a stream. It's like moving water.
Yeah.
That's why they say currency.
That's why they call it currency. Yeah.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah.
Really? If you stop a stream, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got sitting water. That's not really healthy. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have a way for it to move. So you can't stop the flow of the money. That's gonna fuck everything up.
Yeah. Yeah. So I figured that might be in part of their calculus why they decided to do it sooner than later.
Yeah.
Why people are still motivated to actually go back out and work, because once they get scared, then it's harder to get them to actually go back out there.
Yeah.
So why they're not scared? Go ahead.
No, they're saying even oil futures, Saudi Arabia and certain countries are paying you to take the oil and to store it because they don't know what to do.
Let me see if I can find it. I know I have it. Let me see if I can actually find the article.
Crazy.
Let me see. Hit WTI was West Texas International, which is your West Texas International. Actually, your marker for oil. Let's see. For a possibility, they said it could go to -$100. It's a possibility, but it actually, because if they don't open it back up, I don't have it. Oh shit.
So negative $100 means that the oil producing countries will be paying you $100 to take it per barrel.
Yeah, because oil once it's out of the ground has to be stored, otherwise it will be it'll actually rot. Oil actually rots. It's actually a organic compound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I remember watching one of those kind of documentaries that said, what would happen if there was a major pandemic. Funny enough that was the thing, and they said like all the people that would leave their car for an emergency, and you would maybe have your car sitting for 2 years, it wouldn't start.
Yeah.
Because you need some type of thing for the gas so that the gas could actually mean something for the car.
Well,
so like you said, yeah.
Basically, oil will coagulate just like a bloodstream, right? So it'll actually rot and stick up. So basically, if you leave it sitting too long, guess what happens to the engine? It's going to freeze up because that's like when you people actually sit a car up and store it, right? They drain all the fluids out to keep the fluids from actually turning into cement and clogging up the engine. So they actually drain all the fluids before they actually store the car. Because if you actually set it up with all the fluids in it, the fluids actually rot and actually ruin stick up the valves and all the pistons and shit like that. I can't find it. But it actually closed the contract actually closed at negative $35.
Oh. Yeah, so that's what I heard there. It was 37, but same difference.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Like a BGS, I'm not old, but I'm not young. And I don't know why I'm so fascinated by this shit, because I never thought something like this would happen. It was never something that crossed my mind. Shutting down of the economy. You got politicians, actually some Republican politicians advocating for UBI. Like, that's insane.
Well, the original people that came up with the UBI were Republicans, were conservatives. They weren't liberals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Richard under the Nixon administration.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah,
I heard that.
So it's not as unusual as you think it is.
Wow. But yeah, apparently it ain't happening this time around. Maybe in a month or so, but it didn't go through this time. So let's see.
I always said UBI is an emergency plan. It's not something that they're actually going to just implement it in case nothing else works. In fact, they were talking about it if the coronavirus actually got worse. They were talking about giving families $2,000 a month in UBI until while the economy was on its knees. They were actually talking about that. So the UBI is not something that they actually want to implement. If you see a UBI coming up, then you know you're in some shit. Like you hear UBI talk, like the stimulus is a form of UBI. It's not the exact same thing, but it's a form of it.
That lets you know how bad it is.
It lets you know how bad it is. That's the only time that will actually happen. If the economy just goes kaput, then that's the only thing you have left. You have one or two things: either people actually get desperate and start destroying your economy, or you're going to have to give them something to actually keep the economy going. And the UBI was actually one of those ideas.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just watching the little bit of news that I watch and keeping up with my with my white boys on news. Yeah. That's one thing I will like. The Kyle Kalinskis of the world and whatnot, the Jimmy Dores and whatever. And
caramelized. I did hear about that. Also, the Bronx tiger that got was actually positive for corona, so the animals can catch it.
What? Well, wait, a tiger?
Yeah, it came. The original storage for storage container for the virus was actually a bat, so it came from animals. So animals can get it.
Yeah, I heard that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
But a lot of the thing is, one thing I like about I hate it, but the thing is I like about it, you have it in such an extreme case, you get to see all these ideas play out in real time. Like UBI and automation and all this kind of stuff, you actually get to see it play out in real time because now you have an emergency.
All the things that we were thinking were going to be maybe a decade or two away from really coming into fold, we're watching it happen now. We're watching some of these things get implemented with more haste because we knew they were speeding towards it, but now they're doing it double time, triple time.
Jabroni, if you ain't got no fucking facts, man, you might as well get out of here with that bullshit, okay? Might as well get out of here with that bullshit. If you ain't got no facts, man, you just spouting off words, okay? In this particular stream, you're gonna irritate me. But go ahead, Mr. Z, because there's the link. If you got something to say, Jabroni, there's the link. You can get up here and say it. If you can't, if you don't want to get up here and say it, you might as well pipe down and be quiet.
No, I was just saying, like,
No.
I lost my train of thought. It is gone. It ran.
There's the link, boss. If you got something to say, get up here and say it. Otherwise, be quiet, because I'm not even entertaining that bullshit. Go ahead.
Yo, BGS, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
I want to say something that I actually learned from RBR, and I didn't know this was true, but I looked it up. But this is where Corona came from. Check this out. So there was a random bat, and the bat bit a chicken. And people,
okay, yeah. You couldn't even get it all the way out. Once I started laughing, you started laughing. We know some bullshit. Go ahead, though. Go ahead.
Bat bit a chicken. Okay.
if people ate the chicken,
yeah,
and then they got the bubblies, and they bought up on the tissue.
They got the bubblies, and then what they do?
Bought up on the tissue, and now we got the coronavirus. That's RBR facts, straight out of RBR files.
They got the bubblies, they shit, and then pigs ate it, and then they ate pork, and then when people ate pork, then they caught it, and then they spread it.
It's all figured out. It's all figured out.
Oh my god. BGS, I know I said it before, but I gotta say it again. I applaud you a million times for your surgical way of just beheading people when it came to this 5G conspiracy. Man, I've delved into conspiracy theories. I've entertained some I think are real as fuck. But when it came to the 5G shit, I was just like, y'all niggas sound crazy. These niggas was sounding crazy with the and it's hard to tell somebody like, nigga, you sound dumb. Because you're insulting their intelligence, and I'm really careful on that because I hate when people do it to me. But people were making it so hard not to just be like, nigga, you dumb.
Well, let me tell you my little theory on why black folks are so easily to fall into the conspiracy theory talk.
Oh, go ahead.
Because a lot of times conspiracy theories don't take much facts. They don't take much actually proving. And if you can sound smart without actually having to prove shit, black people are all for that, especially black Americans. If I can sound like I know some shit without proving I know some shit, I'm all down. And that's a conspiracy theory in a nutshell in most cases. That's why black people, as soon as we hear a conspiracy theory, we're off in the wind with it. We're running with that bitch.
Yeah, they take a little bit of knowledge and they run with it like before even walking through the logic of it and actually go and take the whole conspiracy. At least with white people, they can actually go 2 or 3 levels deep. Right? They didn't go 1 level deep.
Well, man, you don't gotta go any leap because you know what us niggas, we're all about the pussy. So if I get a bitch in my house, I start talking about conspiracy theory. She thinks I'm smart. She like, oh, this nigga right here.
You in there?
A smart one, right? I got me a smart one.
I think
I
also
just gotta say nothing. I just gotta
because Tuskegee experiment came out to be true, because like things like so because there's been like instances where you could be like, nigga, Black Panther Party, don't forget how that happened. Don't forget about them sending this letter to that group and that letter to this group. Don't forget about stuff like that.
But that had to be proven. That had a track record.
There's a paper trail. There's a track record, and there's a reason, a very good, solid reason why they would do it.
True indeed.
Even for Tuskegee, there's a very good reason why they did what they did. They wanted to track the trajectory of the disease. They wanted to study it. They needed humans to study it. You were the guinea pigs. It makes sense. It's not they haven't done it before. They do it with some vaccines. Okay, with
the logic.
With HIV vaccines, they tested it on kids. There's a very good reason why they tested it on orphan kids. Okay, they wanted to track and see what the trajectory and the actually outcomes of the vaccine was. Okay, there's very good reasons why they do shit. Okay, if you can prove why they would do something like that and give basically the documents to go along with it, I can accept that.
Yeah,
I can accept it with Snowden. So a lot of stuff Snowden said that was way out there. But the thing is, he actually gave the documents and the reason why they would do something right there. It made sense. Okay, it made
Black
sense.
people don't know what motive means. What's the motive?
What's the motive?
Ooh, that's good. That's good. I agree with that.
Like when you say the corona is about getting control of people, like to what end? Control us for what? What gain do they get out of controlling us and keeping us in the house watching Netflix? Like, is it a conspiracy with Netflix? Or like, what's going on?
If you're in the house, you're not out working. They're paying you to sit at home and eat. What good is it to them do? What good do you do them by sitting at home and eating?
Control, but they know where you're at. They got that's ego. That'd be the argument right there. They got ego. They know they have control over you. Like,
well, because niggas are still working from a place of satisfying their ego, so they think everybody else is in that same place.
Facts.
That I think that's and it something you said, motivation. People don't really. Black people especially have a hard time understanding that, and I think it comes from a place of naivete, right? And I think that's why another reason why we fall for conspiracy so easily, because we don't understand motive and we don't think that when I talk to certain Black people about some of the insidious nature of the people that run the planet, I'm like, what? No wonder they run the planet. You niggas is just naive. And the naivete works in the way where it's easy to believe a conspiracy theory, but it also works in the other way where a person could just smile in your face, rub you on the back, and you fall. No, that's my dog, bro. We've been cool for what, all of 2 minutes, nigga?
Mm-hmm.
You know? It's that easy. It's that easy to believe it. Like I said, I've dabbled in conspiracy theory, but the 5G thing just that would be radiation. And so it's like not even understanding basic science.
Yeah. Basically, that's all I'm doing is walking them through the logic. You can come back if you have proof and you actually show me motive, opportunity, and basically the track record. We can get down with that, but you can't come in half baked. If I can actually go one level deep and actually defeat your logic, basically you haven't thought this out. Which is why certain people don't want to get on here because they know they're gonna get questioned.
Somebody getting called out.
Huh?
I said, somebody getting called out. I don't know, BJ.
Checking for you. If you want to come up and defend Jabroni, you're welcome to do it. Otherwise, you need to shut the fuck up too. I don't have patience for this shit today. All right. That's why my avatar has a lightsaber now. Okay. that BGS that was in before 2020 doesn't exist anymore. Okay. If you got something to say, the link is there. Bring your ass up here and say it.
BGS used to be the maestro of the Coliseum. Now he's in the Coliseum kicking ass. So
there's the link. If you got something to say, there's the link. Bring your ass up here and say it. Otherwise, you need to pipe down, or you're gonna take a time out, take a chill pill. All right.
Here's a random BGS. I'm warning you now. This is an extra random question. I do extra random shit sometimes.
Oh, I never did have patience. Oh, well, you know what, Jabroni? That's probably true. I'm gonna give you a chance. This time, I'm actually sit you in the corner. Next time you say it, you can go and have a nice life. Okay. Because you don't need to be here. You don't want to. I'm not. The thing is, I'm not making you be here. Okay.
You don't have irritators.
Yeah, I'm not making you. You don't like me. I'm not making you be here. Don't cut the hand off. Yeah, up to the elbow. Anyway.
Yeah. So y'all interrupted my damn conversation with BGS and shit. But no. So what is this gonna do to the car industry? You know, I'm heavy in the cars. Nobody driving, nobody buying shit. What the hell?
That's the thing is the cars are back and oil is the biggest problem that they're having right now. Oil and food, because you have this big ass machine we call a global economy, right? That keeps things moving, right? Because you're built in a just-in-time scenario where things have to move, right? Everything is timed out. In other words, just as you're running out, your next shipment shows up, right? Your next car, your next tanker of gasoline, your next tanker of oil, it shows up just in time, right? What happens when, say, one country like China that takes the vast majority of the resources, right? Food, oil, all kind of stuff to actually feed 1.5 billion people, stops buying for like 2 months. Shit starts to back up, right?
Yeah.
So you have two choices: either you sell it for a cheaper price to get rid of it to people that they probably can't use it, because if they could use it, they'd be buying it.
Yeah.
And then what happens when they shut down?
You don't even have a buyer.
You don't have. There's no buyers. So, but the thing is, you still have to. You have the operations still have to be in gear and producing, because if you don't, when things open back up, there's no supplies, right? So So basically, that's how come they can only shut it down for so long, which DC was right. That's how come he was saying we have to open this back up, because you can't have the 1-2 punch where China shut down for 2 months and then your second largest consumer, which is America, shuts down for 2 months. The whole global economy will actually start to crack. It's already cracking. Okay. It's already cracking, which is why all over the world, May 1st is the day they're actually going to start opening up economies all over the world. It's not just here. I read that in Poland, in the Ukraine, in all parts of Europe. They're actually going to open back up on May 1st. Okay, because they have to. That's how come I put out the Kobayashi Maru in the first place. It's the balance between the pathogen, which will kill so many people, versus the economy, which will, if you shut it down, will kill probably even more. Which they're going to lean to the side of the economy first, because that's the most vital for the vast majority of people's health. Because if not, if you keep the economy down to like July or September, right, you're going to have 100 million people starve to death. The poor people that can't afford, that can barely afford to eat now. If there's no food, the people who actually rich countries who can actually pay their citizens and actually feed them with nothing else, right? But poor countries can't. So basically, you have billions of people without food. 100 million people are actually going to starve to death. So they're going to open the economy back up, and if the bodies drop, the bodies drop.
Let the bodies hit the floor.
Let the bodies hit the floor. No, that's how come. I wish if I could find it, because I actually had it. If I could look it up in my where this dude is, a white dude actually said it. If you don't believe me, and he actually said it. He just said it. Don Calypso actually sent me the clip today, where somebody actually bit my line.
BGS. I'm a black man. I believe you. I don't need no white validation. Go ahead.
Some people do.
Man, I don't believe you, man. BGS is like, if you don't believe me, as a white man,
he said it. Let's see, where is it? He said it was at. Let me skip past the. He said it was at 139, something like that. Let me play a little bit forward. Pipe it up. Oh yeah, it's right. 131. Okay, I'm sit back to 122. Play a little bit of it, and share the screen, share audio, and see if you guys can actually hear this.
I can see it. Let's see if I can.
Now, obviously, shutting down the economy. Well,
China Uncensored. Yeah, I watch him too.
But there's a deadly pandemic going on. And how to balance protecting the country from the coronavirus with making sure people can afford to put food on the table, that has become a political Kobayashi Maru. And if you don't know what a Kobayashi Maru is, you haven't watched enough Star Trek. And if you do, you've watched too much Star Trek.
Yeah.
Anyway, it means a no-win scenario.
Yeah. See, he used the same thing I used for Trump.
What's up, BGS? How you doing this evening?
Hey, what's up, James?
Not much, man. It's funny. It's the hardest thing to do. Number one is trying to explain that to somebody on the street.
What's that?
It just that either damn if you do, if damn if you don't.
Kobayashi Maru. That's like my for everybody. And Jabroni asked you, why are you playing this clip? I said, nigga, because you niggas don't read. So that's why.
Yeah, nigga, like Graham said, niggas don't read. But I was like, and that's one thing, like trying to explain it to people is kind of Like, I don't know. I'm surprised you ain't popped the vein. But over the 3 years, I don't know why anybody that actually frequents this channel doesn't know. I mean, you basically told us this stuff was going to happen besides naming out COVID-19. Like, it's going to play like this. It's going to run like this. And can't nobody that actually listen to this sit up here and say otherwise. You was already talking about the bug out bags. You was talking about if the economy collapsed, you do this or you do that. It's just baffling to me that people act like they don't. They're like, oh, bro, it's 5G. I'm like, you got to not have been listening, or they're just gonna run with it. And I'm a millennial, so
basically, I put a link to Epoch Times where they actually did a mini documentary. They actually show all the documents going back to 2013 where they're experimenting on these bat viruses, these bat coronaviruses. So the exact same thing where the virus actually started, and from a bat. The documents go all the way back to 2013 where they're actually experimenting on bats to actually develop this particular virus and isolating it. So, goddamn, what do you need?
You know that actually, I've heard this. I don't know if you have, but there have been people, it's conspiracy theory at this point right now, but there have been people that say like, well, I think coronavirus already been out. Like actually out in the world.
There's coronaviruses like SARS. Okay, there are coronaviruses. They've been there. The thing is not this one.
Yeah, that not 19. I understand the difference with the COVIDs and the corona, because corona just means from like animal to humans. Am I not correct? Or
no. Basically, the little spikes that you see in the on the virus,
right?
Okay, on a microscope, it looks like a sun's corona. Okay. That's why they named it that, because the way it looks underneath the electron microscope, it looks like a little halo, a little halo.
Right. It sticks out. Yeah,
it sticks out. So it's a characteristic that they see under the microscope. That's why they named it that way, because that's the way it looks.
Okay, cool. Do you think though, BGS though, that it might have been out? Maybe. I'm just asking. Do you think it might have been out before they really even China said anything? Like it could have been out before.
Well, the thing is, the incident happened in like late October, early November, and the first cases that China detected was in November. So it could have been out as early as November. That in fact, they say some cases, like in Seattle, they went back and they said that the earliest they can actually detect it in people is probably December. So before we actually announced it early, it probably was already here, some of it. But there's no telling until they test everybody, until they test people that are dead, that have died at a certain place. So
right.
So then until they go back and test people that are dead and exhumes or actually test certain samples, then there's no way to tell.
Yeah, and that's the thing though, too. Everybody's saying whatever, but like you had said before, like, you got mad scientists, and scientists have to make sure that there's multiple collaborations with the data that they bring in, or you're just talking theory and you're not talking fact. So they do have to go look at them bodies. We got to know hard facts.
Well, I'm sure they have samples that are stored, from the coroner and stuff like that. They had to go back and test the sample. Like they tested the 2 people that had died in California in I think early February, where they went back and tested their samples and found out they could actually isolate the virus. So it's really hard to tell in people that are dead. But but the thing is, the earliest that we knew about it, the Chinese knew about it, was in early November.
Yeah, they ain't say a word.
They're trying to contain it because they knew once these people okay, that there's a program, right? Everybody knows that there's a program. They know where the programs are. So when they see an outbreak, they see something they've never seen before, they do a test, they isolate the virus. They said, okay, this looked like the same thing that we were testing over here. They're actually going to backtrack and actually find out what happened. And then once they find out what happened, are we going to release the information to cover it up? Okay, the Chinese decided to cover up and see how bad the virus was until they couldn't anymore. Once you start you can't lock down a city of 10 million people without people noticing it, right? So once you see AK-47s and people can't leave, then all of a sudden the game's up. You might as well go ahead and make
The
up
jig
whatever.
is up.
The jig is up once the guns come out.
Yeah, I guess it's the same basic thing. Like as if you married and you ain't got no kids and you have a child on the side in a small city. Like, dude, we're gonna know. Like there's only so long you can cover that up because the receipts gonna start showing up.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. That's what it's saying. What happened. That's why I was like, man, let me ask Master Teacher about this because, I think about it. I do a lot of looking at stuff and research and stuff. But sometimes you need a second opinion. Well, you should always get a second.
I heard about it in January, but I didn't take it seriously until they locked down Wuhan. And I saw them out in front of the, blocking off the city with tanks and basically AK-47s keeping people from leaving the city and emptying out the airport. I said, okay, this is not something to play with.
BGS. Oh, go
ahead. Now go ahead, brother. My bad.
I had a question for you, BGS, and for James. For you, BGS, did you hear that Taiwan actually suspected that China was covering something up? They didn't know exactly, but they suspected this since about December, maybe.
Yeah.
And for you, James, I was gonna ask you a funnier question, which is you've been battling them 5G conspiracy theories also.
Well, I'm gonna put it like this. I always give people. I'll give somebody intellectual, understanding to try to see where they're coming from. Then I back reference it, and it's just like science because I like checking out Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he's like straightforward with his scientific method. Like if you cannot prove it to me, if you can't, and I can't back reference it on multiple sources, then I cannot take it as fact. And so when I heard about the 5G, I got it actually originally from somebody from Australia, from Perth, Australia. We played on a video game and stuff like that, but we've been cool for like 3 years. So like he give me that Eastern world stuff about China, and he's paranoid about Russia and what they might do because he lives right up under them. But long story short, man, he hit me with the 5. I got the video somewhere. I could give y'all it, but I mean, like I said, there's not enough substantial evidence to prove their theory at this point. It looks viral. It acts viral. It is viral.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you, bro. I'm agreeing with you.
So I struggle. Yeah, I struggle. To answer your question, I did struggle for like one day, and then I made sure I hit up BGS. I made sure I looked at different, medias across the world, the RTs, and all that China.
All the stuff I watch. You watch the shit I watch.
Basically, they have microscopes, electron microscope. They can actually design circuits like 10 times smaller than the virus, right? They can see the virus. They can see it through a microscope. Okay, they have microscopes. They can see the damn thing. So to say it doesn't exist, it's not real. They can see it. You can't see it under a microscope. Yes, they can.
Yeah, but it's the waves from the 5G towers, though. BGS, man, what you talking about, man?
They're paranoid. That paranoia is really just misdirected. What they really should be actually thinking about is this is my thinking of it. I want to know what how we talk about exploit the crisis, and I talked about this with you before. I want to know how they might exploit the crisis of this coronavirus. I want to, you seeing these people, man, white supremacy. Like I live in Ohio, man. It's
now you ask a real question.
If it was me, if I was going to exploit it, it would be a way to bring in more automation, right? If you're locked in the house, you need delivery services, and people can't do it or cheap enough. Who can do it cheap enough?
Let me tell you something. Unless you don't want to go out, they don't even automation shouldn't even be in anyone's question right now. Again, 3-4 years ago, you was already talking about this stuff, and I used to go to work and just talk to friends or associates about I'm like, yo, y'all need to handle y'all business. Like I got a record, so I'm gonna kind of be here and handle my business, but you ain't got no record. You need to get into STEM, go to the military, I done explained to dozens of people about the Charles Faulkner, the Charles Gray Initiative, all that type of stuff, and they don't listen, man.
No, of course not. Well, because they're comfortable.
James, do you come off as the conspiracy theory friend, or the friend that's like you just be way too in, niggas ain't trying to hear that, dude, you fucking up they fun? Because that's the friend I come off as. That's the coworker I come off as. Like, damn, Alex, man, you always be messing up, man.
Well,
go ahead.
Let me tell you something, bro. Let me tell you something that I learned about it. Sometimes, as people that you can be very intelligent, very smart. You can have a lot of knowledge. Like, I'm a jack of all trades, so I got a little bit of a lot of different knowledge. You know, I don't know one thing specifically like a PhD. You know, but when you're dealing with people, what you want to do is that you don't tell them your business. And your business is the way you think. You got to know what to say to the certain type of people that you're talking around. People like, they'll be talking politics, Trump this, Trump that. Now, I wouldn't go in there slamming Trump, telling them what I really think, but I could put some, objective type of innuendos out there just to let them touch on it, so they don't think that I'm telling them it, but I'm telling them it. It was kind of being manipulative in a way, but a good manipulative. You just they don't
maybe it got to be that way.
No, it does have to be that way, because let me tell you something. Somebody told me this shit a long time ago. A good OG, he said, listen here, bro. He like, Ma, man, don't always be telling people what your dreams and your hopes is, because they gonna hate on them. They'll hate on them. Not people you don't know. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like not all the, like you can, but like you gotta watch your arc of communication, the way that you point it, the way that you put it, the way that you speak. You understand what I'm saying? The way that you come across. You see what I'm saying? So like it's just I've been both. To answer your question, I've done both. I sound like a conspiracy theorist, and I just sound like somebody who thinks he knows more than he really does.
That's me.
I know better because
that's me, nigga.
I know better because I know I don't know everything. That's how I end up getting hooked up with
shit. The more you know, the more you know you don't know.
Nobody knows everything. Nobody knows everything. Yeah, that's the thing. You have to find out. That's how come you have to wait until everything plays out. Like a lot of times you come up with a theory, you know the why, you know the what, but you have to wait until people actually execute it. Okay. Then you can actually sit back and watch. Okay, they're supposed to make this play. They do it, right? And then next is supposed to do this, and they do it. They said, okay, now I know what they're doing, because you already mapped the play. And once they execute it, you can actually sit back and watch. This was actually easy to actually sit back and watch, because they actually only had a couple of choices. You know, either slow the spread of the disease, or actually keep the economy rolling and lie and watch the bodies drop. Which one are you going to do? So eventually there's going to have to be a balance. So him opening up the economy was actually a no-brainer. It's just a matter of when. Like say me and DC were actually arguing over the date. He said a week before the 1st. I said the 1st. It turns out he was right. Now this is the start. Every state's not going to do it, but thinking this is the start of them actually turning it around. In fact, Georgia's supposed to do it early on Friday, like tomorrow. They're supposed to start.
Yeah,
they haven't
I heard that.
And they probably already started doing it early, because people actually cheat and actually open it up, and just the cops look the other way.
And apparently he got he spoke to the governor of Georgia spoke to Trump, and Trump was like, I don't really think that's a good idea. You know, it's crazy when you said I'm opening and Trump said, I don't know.
In other words, if things go south before the 1st, I can't be held responsible for it. In other words, if you want me to take the heat, you do it when I say you do it. If you want to open it up early,
do it on your own.
Do it on your own. Then it's on your own.
Your own business.
In other words, and most politicians aren't willing to take the blame like that, especially something like this.
That's just crazy.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, the majority. I'd say I know 50% ain't even paying no attention to this social gathering. So I live in Cincinnati now. I left out last night about 11:30 to go down to we got marathons and Sunoco's down here in Ohio, Cincinnati, right?
Okay.
I go down there, man, 11:30, because I don't never go out at late time no more. You know, I'm retired, goddamn.
Okay. All right.
I went down there. Listen to me, because I know how it be. Like, I get down there, it's like it's like the club. You dig?
Okay.
20 cars, no police around. I'm like, the police don't give a. They don't even want no smoke.
Okay.
It's so many niggas, Negroes out there selling soap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're just sitting around.
Yeah.
That hugging each other with embrace.
Yeah.
I'm like, ain't nobody following that shit.
They're blowing off steam.
Yeah, they're closer. Because actually no violence happened.
Yeah, that's why they allow them to blow off steam, because they know if they don't, then they have to come in and actually pull out bodies out of the houses and stuff like that. So the cops will actually say, okay, as long as you're not doing anything, we're actually gonna look the other way.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like, because there's a damn cemetery across the street. They was probably parked, and when I think about it now, they was probably parked across the street because it's dark at the cemetery at night. Parked all the way across the street, about 100 yards away, with their lights off, just watching everybody.
Mm-hmm.
They was bundling. You feel me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They haven't done it in a while, so yeah, they're gonna get issued because, and especially young people, they're itching to get out. Until
you're not about to tell them nothing, bro.
Yeah, until it gets to the point where they're actually seeing it, and then they'll get scared. But just tell them that they can't do it. No, that's not gonna happen until as soon as they see any kind of crease, they're actually gonna go back out. So basically, as soon as they say people can actually go back to work and open back up, it's gonna be like a mad rush, man. In fact, I heard in Atlanta, the traffic was actually starting to come back. So people are already kind of jumping the gun in Georgia.
Yeah, they jump. Actually, to be quite honest with you, BGS, man, they jumping the gun everywhere because it's been since some stimulus checks came out. Man, they've been all over the city, man, driving around, having a good time. You know, it's been shootings, but majority of mass gatherings that you will see, because I don't get involved, it's mostly just love. You just see people seeing people they ain't seen in a long time. This is really it is that whatever Hiroshima, I forgot what dude's name is. It's a win-lose situation because it looked like the 90s out here, BGS, and you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because you're from California. Now I'm from Dayton, Ohio, born and raised. You feel me? With that Roger and the Ohio players, all that. So, I remember that type of 90s good vibe, man. And you see kids playing now, riding their bikes.
Yeah.
Man, I ain't saying this in a minute, man. It's just a win-lose thing, man.
Yeah, because the people want human-to-human contact that they haven't had for a while. So that's why they're doing it now. So you're gonna see it for a minute because they've been locked up with each other for such a long time. They're just waiting to get out with their kids, get them out of the house. Like I saw kids playing in the front yard, man, like all up and down the street. Because they
you noticed it too, BGS?
Yeah.
Did you notice it like the 90s?
Yeah. Yep.
It was like the 90s, man.
Yeah.
So they were right out there.
Right out there. So yeah, you've seen a lot of that. We'll see how long it lasts though.
I hope it do. We can hope all we want to, but yeah, I know about the black pill now. I ain't, so it is what it is. But
we'll see. We'll see.
If they don't open this up, you're gonna see the real black pill. They're gonna have to, it's over, bro. Like,
the thing is that it's not. The thing is with the economy closed down, it's not affecting just the poor people. It's affecting everybody all the way up and down the line. So basically, rich people are losing money too. So they're the first one to actually push for the economy to be back open because they have no place to sell your products. Okay, basically, and they're the one with the biggest loans. They lose more money every day. If things aren't moving, they lose more money. So they're begging Trump to actually put the economy back in motion.
Yeah, even though they show on the news that it look like it's like grassroots movements, and they are out there, the grassroots movements as far as the white people, whatever. But really, I can tell, looking at it, it's from the top. Because if this don't run, man,
you got a lot of big banks.
I'm telling you, they're already talking about it like shit.
Oh,
if I can't get no bread, it's about to be.
You have whole nations that are getting ready to go broke if this economy doesn't go open back up. Whole nations. I'm talking about little ones like Russia and Saudi Arabia that can go broke if don't open this stuff back up.
Yeah, the oil producing countries.
The oil producing countries. all the producing countries. China will go broke if they don't open it back up. They have no place to sell their goods. Everybody's broke. Yeah, go ahead.
Could I address somebody real quick? They said something I want to catch it. I think his name Willier. He said amoral pragmatism. Bro, most people don't even know what that means. Like most people, and you sound so dark when you start when you use that phrase and you try to explain to people, these people are amoral pragmatists. They don't believe there's no virtue with them. There's no morality. They don't work off of that. It's power, money. Period. Most people look at you like like you're one of those people.
You know where I first heard that term? It was 2000. I was at Craig Hewlett's retreat, right? And we're talking about the Chinese. He said, well, how do I describe the Chinese? They're amoral pragmatists. That's where I first heard that term. It's not about how many people die. It's about outcome.
End all be all.
And the ends justify the means.
The means.
Yep.
Yeah.
BJ, you ever notice when you talk to people about amorality, they think you're saying immorality? That let me know you don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Right? Because you don't even understand the difference in I don't know. I've spoken to people that you would think would understand, like young attorneys, paralegals. When I used to work at this law office down here in South Florida, and I would just look at them like, "But you guys are doing better than me." Like, you ever look at somebody and be like, "But you're making more money than me. Like, you're doing better than me in life."
Yeah.
Like, how do you not know this shit?
But quite honest with you, don't even. My bad, BJs. Go ahead.
I was going to Uncle Buck. Planting your own food actually works in a modern society because you have other things to supplement your food stocks, right? There's plenty of places where they plant their own fucking food and they're starving to death. Okay. There's only so much food you can grow, especially without modern farming techniques. Without energy and modern farming techniques, there's only so much food you can produce. And it's not going to feed 320 million people. It's impossible.
No, they didn't even take the time out to gut out half of any state in America with all that agriculture resource that they could have did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, $100 billion could have gutted out half a state for this. You see what they got? What's that? The Netherlands, BGS, where they got 1 million seeds hidden up there in the ice.
Oh yeah, they have one in Iceland. They have one in Norway. They have one one underground in Utah. I think they have another one. I think is it in one of the Dakotas. But they have these what they call seed banks.
The seed bank. That's what it was.
Different places in the planet in case there's a disaster, like a comet hits the Earth or there's a nuclear holocaust, something like that.
That's ELE stuff type stuff. They ain't doing it for this.
All your heirloom seeds are actually saved for the apocalypse type scenario.
Yeah, right. It's the ELE level. They ain't about to break it open for this.
No. Basically, so in other words, in case shit hits the fan and most of the human race gets destroyed, if they can find the seed banks, they can actually start regrowing the old plants. The books will teach them how to rebuild the civilization that you just lost, so the knowledge doesn't get lost. But even then, it would take 200 or 300 years. But things won't be completely lost, where it take like thousands of years to actually rebuild.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
because there is something to be said about the people that believe that there was once a time when we were super civilized, really good technology, but something happened where, like something happened that destroyed a lot of humanity, but we just couldn't get it back together. So you had to go through thousands of years back up through Egypt, through Greece, through Rome, to get to where we are now. I've heard that theory before, that but I don't know how true it is.
Hey, BGS, that, I mean, okay, so let's just put a conspiracy hat on. So the pyramid in Giza was built by what? 3,500 years ago?
Depends on who you talk to. Okay, depends on who you talk to.
Right. What's the guesstimate, I guess?
Okay,
Guesstimate.
Basically the pyramids in Giza, according to the white man, was built like 8,000 years ago.
So something did have to happen in order for them to lose that type of technology.
Well, but basically,
I don't know what.
Basically, well, the Alexander the Great and a few others came and burnt books, and actually,
they did burn the libraries down.
Burn the libraries down. Plus, a lot of your knowledge was actually not written down. It was actually
it was in their mind.
Basically, it was passed down. Verbal is actually passed down verbally from the priest to the next set of priests, right? So if you kill them, guess what gets lost?
Everything.
A lot of your knowledge. So a lot of the stuff that was actually back then was actually build pyramids and stuff like that. The way they built them was probably lost because they had the series of wars and killed off the priest.
Yeah.
And plus, over the large amount of time, if you're coming from 8,000 BC up to 2020 AD, that's 10,000 years of. You know how when you whisper somebody's ear, BGS is the master teacher. They come out at the end like he's not like what?
But Albert Churchward says it was actually built during the time of the age of Leo, which would mean that the pyramids would be more like 20,000 years old, and they just keep the upkeep. In other words, they'll every so often will actually come in and actually change the covering of the pyramids because the original pyramid was actually a step pyramid first, and then they had a product to actually make the side smooth. So it could be a lot older than we actually think it is, but nobody knows.
Now, I believe that too, and you know that the last solar eclipse, the total solar eclipse in the United States was under Leo, right?
Total solar? Nah, not really. Didn't we just
it was that when we had the total solar eclipse, the last one in the United States. It was under Leo.
Well, we wouldn't. Then it wouldn't have been. We're talking about the age of Leo, you know.
And not the age, the sign.
The sign.
Now, I know you're talking about aeons and type of stuff like
if you go back to the astronomical age, like we're going from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius.
Yep.
So the age of Aquarius is supposed to last like another 2,700 years, right? So we're talking about ages are between 1900 and 3,100 years. So when we count ages, that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about.
Okay. I wasn't talking.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I wasn't talking about it. Yeah. I don't know. I still threw that in there. I hope y'all know that sign was up under the. Okay. It was crazy. That's why everybody. That's why you noticed that year when Trump came in, and then all the rest of the countries under that, everybody just starts showing their chest hair. You can almost tell, especially after that eclipse. If you think about it, everybody just started. Iran, North Korea, everybody started showing their chest hair, trying to be proud. Because my ascendant is in Leo.
Okay.
So and I got my Pisces moon and sun. I had told you that before, but I just wanted to run it back. But yeah, man, you could tell that it was in Leo. The way the whole world was moving.
Yeah,
it was just hot.
Vincent Henderson, basically, the $6 trillion actually flowed into the economy, flowed into the banks to keep them alive, into the large corporations in the stock market and the banks to keep it alive. So basically, to put the economy on pause, to keep these systems up and running, costs a lot of money. Okay, that's where the $1 trillion actually went, if they're all gone. But actually, that was credit. It wasn't actually money. It was actually credit. It's not actually money. So there will be no money flowing into the coffers of the economy. Okay, that's money that you have to spend just to keep things running. So it's not going to cause hyperinflation, because it's actually going to cause deflation, because what happens if the consumers don't have any money to buy the products, they're going to have to keep doing what? Downgrade, actually lowering the price, just like the price of a barrel of oil, right? It went from, I think before the COVID, it was actually in the mid 60s, almost $70 a barrel, and it went all the way down to the below $20 a barrel. So gasoline got cut down. The price of a gallon of gasoline went down by 2/3 just in a matter of months. So we actually have a deflationary thing. So basically, what you're doing is you're pumping air into a balloon with a hole in it. Okay, that's really what you're doing.
I didn't realize. Go ahead.
Trying to keep
the balloon inflated.
If you're trying to keep
with a hole in it,
you're trying to keep a tire inflated so you can actually patch it up. Got to keep air in it, right? Even though the air is going to leak out at a certain rate, you're trying to put more air in it than it can leak out until you can actually patch it. Okay, until they can patch the economy, they're trying to put more air into it. So even though it leaks out, the whole economy stays inflated. Because
the last thing you need is deflation.
Deflate because there won't be any jobs. People won't get hired. Actually, deflation is a downward spiral. You don't want to see that one. Inflation is like a ladder, right? You keep climbing up and up and up and up, like stair steps, right? A deflationary spiral basically is a self-feeding spiral going downward, because if there's no jobs, if there's no money, there's no jobs, right? So you lay people off, right? Then those people don't have any money. They can't buy anything. So if they can't buy anything, the next producers actually sell stuff. They don't have any customers, right? So they have to do the same thing.
Lay more people off.
Lay more people off.
And lower prices.
And lower prices, and the people don't have jobs. So basically, the products are still on there. Basically, there's no demand, right? So you slowly destroying demand, and demand actually drives an economy, not
supply. Yeah, because you can have all the supply, but with no demand, no profit.
It basically. You're a street nigga, man. You know how it is, man. You pick the products and services that people want. If there ain't no demand, you ain't out there trying to hustle it, right?
No, you're not about to go and invest money into a supply that cannot be sold because it's not in demand.
It ain't demand, basically, and dudes on the street will spot it earlier than anybody else, because they have their livelihood is actually tied to people's demand. So, like I'm saying is, when this happened, right? Like before they even let the kids out of school, right? The dudes selling CDs start selling masks. And this was in early March, right? Niggas out there in the supermarket that normally sell CDs and movies and stuff like that. They hold their masks. Yeah, and selling masks. So they were ahead of the curve.
Yeah, they already know.
They already knew. They already said, our niggas are gonna be wanting masks. So let me get some masks. And so they went to Chinese and got them a big box. Instead of selling them for, they cost like $1, then we're gonna sell them for $5 and get as many boxes as we can. We go out and hustle them. And they were riding it, man. Now that people need masks, man, they cleaning up, man. You have bums, man, selling masks on the street. $5.
$5. Yeah, they $5.
$5.
They $5 up here.
A millionaire now.
Yeah, $5.
They ain't got to worry about it. Shit, I got people working at the hospital. You feel me?
Yeah, I know. I'm talking. Hey, you know what I'm talking about, man.
No, they $5. BGS, no lie. Even in Cincinnati.
Yeah,
they $5 at the least, and it better not be an N95 mask. Oh my God!
Yeah,
you might as well have some. You might as well have a diamond ring on.
Man, it's like
nigga. I done seen a nigga N95 mask like break his neck. No, I'm just playing. I'm like, nigga, you want to come outside with that?
If you walk around with an S95, you have a Cuban link. You got a Cuban link on.
Man, you can buy a barrel of oil cheaper than you can buy a mask.
Literally though, now, literally.
Yeah, you could. You can buy a barrel or cheaper than you can buy a fucking mask on the street.
Yeah, you got two. You got two breathing holes on the side. Oh man, them Jordans. Them N11s, nigga.
Yeah. Basically, that's $15. You want the air holes?
I can't wait for the meme to come out. That's like the quarantine starter pack. I can't wait for the memes. I can't wait for the quarantine memes.
So alcohol and mask for $10.
Hey, Stack.
Talking about that, I need to go to the liquor store. Talking about that, I need to get my.
I did. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I went and got my Jackie D's. You feel me? And just went. Like, sit down.
I drink like a female nigga. I like my shit clear and soft, nigga.
See, bro, bro, G's in here selling. He said he got a whole bunch on his website.
Oh man, man, we got masks at the house. That's not the issue. I just need my lick now. That's what I do with my life. For real, man. Man, for real, like
mask are the new crack now, man.
Apparently, niggas gonna be opening up their jacket. Hey, bro, I got that shit.
I like that. You know what's funny? I like the homemade one. Like, man, I'm telling you, if you could sit down, you got enough fabric. If you had fabric,
yeah.
Man, you could be selling them $10 a pop.
Oh yeah, to
just
the women.
spinning out masks.
And find
some
good,
fly
good
shit.
design. Get some designs. Yeah.
You might be like, I got the silk with the cotton inside.
Yeah. Get a little Gucci design on it.
I got something y'all probably didn't know you could turn into a mask.
Yeah.
The bra padding. My mom.
BGS, you know how you go down to the tailor?
Yeah.
You go down to the tailor and get your fabrics. You might have would have wanted to cut it up for a suit, but you could have had that cut up if you. This was so funny about it. That's why we should have been listening to you a lot harder. Man, $50 worth of fabric right now. If I was to turn around and cut them in a mask.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Thousands of dollars.
Yeah. It's true.
For real. You be on the block with some nice looking stuff. And I can sew because, back in the day with the press and sew system, we had to do not only, we had to do home ec, bro. So like they used to have us like sew and know how to take out stains with hairspray.
Hey, James, you know what to actually sell? I actually thought about it.
What's that?
For the clubs, you get the mask with the hole in it for the straw to go through so they actually drink.
Oh my God.
I got a straw hole for you.
A 2-inch wide straw. 2 inch, 1 inch. Well, 1 inch. 1 inch would be cool. 1 inch wide straw, about 5 inches coming out the mask.
Yeah.
Shit, you ain't lying.
Yeah.
Be rich as hell.
Rich as hell. Yeah.
But BJS, did you hear me earlier? I was telling you, my mom, she put me on game. Bra padding, dude. Bra padding, and you sewing it. You sewed.
I done seen mask people out with the bra masks.
You already seen people with it on?
They got it. Yep.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. If it's clean, that's good because you got to breathe through it like a real N95 mask.
Yeah.
You got to breathe through that shit, that padding.
Yeah.
It'll get that. It'll sequence through that. The air point, I'm just been kind of drinking, y'all. So my thing is, you won't get as much particles per metric, whatever, when it go through that bar pad. Not like wearing a regular mask. So yeah, that shit is that. I would think that it would work.
James, bro, they say in the chat, they said you got the Rona, bro. They said you was coughing. You got the Rona.
Yeah.
Man, everybody got the Rona because they call me. I'm smoking bud right now. You feel me? Like I don't be putting my business out there, but hell, why not? I gotta stay home. I ain't got nothing to do right now. You know what I'm saying? Just so everybody know I ain't got that Rona, y'all.
We up on like 3.5 hours, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and take closing thoughts, and I'm gonna bounce.
My closing thoughts, easy. Y'all stay safe. Y'all be careful. Don't be going out if you don't need to. I'm done.
All right.
Guess my closing thoughts is don't rob your mama for no damn bra mask. At least ask her first.
There you go. There that nigga go.
Do the right thing, y'all, man. Be out here, be safe. And I'll catch y'all on the next one, man.
Don't rob your mama with a bra mask. You ain't shit.
Don't do it. I know it's a little tempting, but man, listen.
You ain't shit.
Y'all handle that. God bless you. Feel me?
Yeah, Lindy, we might do it again on Sunday, man.
All right.
So you can actually get your thoughts out because I know.
No problem.
How you doing with your art, man? Are you still in art school, or what are you doing now?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do next. Am I going to either go into Loyola or go into Micah?
Okay. You ain't got no callbacks, man, since the shit been going down?
I've got some calls from someplace from various odd numbers, but
okay.
Bill collectors.
What I'm saying is they haven't called you back to duty because of an emergency or nothing like that?
No, there was a threat of that might happening.
Okay.
But they were really looking for people with a medical background.
Oh, okay. So you're good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Proud to be a cent, man. You got a few minutes. What's up?
I got a question for you, BJS. You can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. You got these kids at home. They're doing the internet schooling or whatever on computer.
Yeah, the online classes. Yeah.
Yeah, a majority of them are not doing their work or whatever. Are they
Okay.
still going to be the schools? No kids left behind or whatever. Are they still going to be doing that?
Okay. With my grandson, the programs that they're on, the teacher can actually monitor their progress, and she can actually set up the lessons through the AI, so she can give the AI a certain set of lessons to actually go through, so she can monitor the progress. Okay, how many hours they've been on it, what lessons they've done, what their scores are. She can see all of that stuff. So she's actually at home doing it since she's not doing anything, right? So she can actually look at it and actually email the parents that, okay, this child might be behind, or this child is not doing enough work, or whatever it is, right? But since it's all new, she's not really pressing. Okay, because they know parents are busy and they're not trained to actually have the schedule for people. But the thing is, these bugs will actually all get worked out. But there's like, because I was actually looking at my my grandson's, because they actually sent home a Chromebook, and it's like 3 or 4 different sites where they can actually teach these kids on. So it's not just one, but but the school can actually monitor their progress.
All right, one more question on that. Let's say so there's a bunch of people not really keeping up with their kids or whatever. They're not going in the class.
Okay.
Can they send like authorities to go check the home and your kid's not in school or whatever and take them out or whatever?
They could, but with this kind of crisis, where are you going to put them?
Good point.
Not going to put them in danger. Basically, it was almost the end of the school year. It's not that big a deal. They have an early summer. They might be behind, but the thing is you try to keep as many kids on point as possible. But at least when the semester starts again, you know where they are.
All right,
because you don't. What can you do? If you could plan for it, you would do something different. But the thing is, this is not planned. So what are you gonna do? So you can't. There's no place to put them. If they're letting prisoners out of jail, why they would take kids out of the home?
Hey, you know what?
Not doing the homework.
That's a damn good point, because I got somebody got caught corona, and they let them out of prison, out of jail. He's not in prison yet. He's on house arrest. But yeah, you're absolutely correct. Makes sense.
If you get a prisoner that has in jail with corona, you got 2 choices: either infect everybody else and take that risk, or put him in house arrest and let him shelter in place, basically self-quarantine. So those are those are your choices. You're gonna have to make hard choices, And basically, like I said, this stuff is just getting started. This virus out in the wild is only like 6 or 7 months old. So, and there's no telling, with the Spanish flu, it took from the first time they saw it to when it actually became a pandemic, it took like almost a year before you saw before you really started to take effect. And then the second wave just start taking, hundreds of millions of people out. So hopefully it's not that. Hopefully it's not as bad as the Spanish flu. But the thing is, we're a lot more mobile now than we were then. That's the issue with
another damn good point.
Yeah. So the thing is it's nothing to play with. We just hope that it's not as bad a bugger as we think it is. But if this bugger mutates with the stuff that it does, it has a potential to be extremely harmful. So hopefully it doesn't mutate as bad as, because it is it actually does attack blood cells, so it becomes a bloodborne virus once it goes through the lungs. That's what they're finding out. And if that is the case, it can go to any part in the body. Like I actually showed a video of what they call coronavirus toe, where the virus is actually causing blood clots in the foot. You can actually see the webbing of the veins where the blood clots where they're actually killing blood cells and causing blood clots in people's feet. So this is a nasty little bugger. So unfortunately, it's not as like my girl told me. She said, unfortunately, it wasn't weaponized, because if it was, it'd be something that we don't want to ever see in life. Like Black Plague won't have nothing on this little bastard.
So, based on the black pill, you're leaning towards it mutating, isn't it?
Is what? That it's mutating? Yeah, it'll mutate, but the thing is, it probably will mutate to a more benign form. Hopefully, it'll mutate. It's already mutated. Like, because are you still in Europe?
No.
You're in Florida, right?
I'm in stinking Miami, but
yeah, but in Europe got the worst strain. In other words, in the United States, the mortality rate's anywhere between 2 and maybe 5%, right at the top. In Europe, it's between 7 and 11% mortality rate for confirmed cases, which is like double or triple what it is in the United States. So they're saying that Europe got the worst strain, and New York got the strain from Europe. That's like it's more intense in that area than any place else. So that is a strain that people have to watch out for, which which Boris got. Boris got that particular one. You know, you got.
You say Boris? You talking about the actor with the wife or whatever?
No. I'm talking about the UK Prime Minister.
Oh yeah. He gave his little fantastic speech or whatever.
Yeah, because he believed in herd immunity, and we're gonna get the step up her lip, and mad dogs and Englishmen go out in the noonday sun, and basically he got sick, and now you have women in the UK that are afraid to take their babies to the emergency room.
Yeah, well, the thing about the UK is that the minute you got the flipping door, they calling the cops on you, innit?
Yeah.
They're very they take snitching to a whole new flipping level. Let me ask you a question. I got a friend or whatever, and there's not going to be no concerts like till 2021 or whatever.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah.
What do you think about podcasting and streaming and whatever? Where you see entertainment going, and where you see
until the near future, that it's going to be a pay-per-view is probably what you should do. If you're going to make any money, because you're not going to make any money probably worldwide in making open air concerts. You can't put enough people in the seats, so you're going to have to stream it and just take a risk that people will actually record it and pirate it, which they can do anyway. But you just have to make money off their performance.
Bloody hell, man!
It's either that or starve. As you tell the regular individuals, what happens when your customers dry up? They say, well, it won't matter. Everybody's tied to the economy except somebody in the middle of the jungle.
And you know what? The reason why I'm going to agree with you, not that I could disagree, because everything you're saying is factual. What I look at is the streets or whatever. I've got friends in the Bahamas, and they're having problems with the streets, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So if the streets is not eating, well, bloody hell, you know what I mean? They're really struggling out there. Well, a bunch of spots or whatever. People are really I heard people talking about the criminals or whatever. That's your little petty criminals, but your people that's getting that money.
Yeah,
they're kind of blues, man.
Yeah, because there's like I said, the currency's cut off. The stream is cut off. There's no place to dip your bucket or your cup into. So, but the thing is, that's everybody all the way up. So that's how come it won't last. It'll start back up in a week. In fact, we'll see how Georgia does tomorrow. When Georgia starts back up, I'm sure Florida will follow, and then on and on and on. But they're actually going to see Georgia actually test it out. If not too many bodies drop, it'll open back up. We'll see. We're going to put it to the test.
I got my last question for you. I was checking out this guy Dan Pena. I'm pretty sure you heard of him. He's saying that there's going to be some 36 months of growing pains because of the shutdown, and he's predicting that people are going to be buying cruise ships and stripping down the metal, selling it for iron ore.
Oh no!
Basically,
no.
You damn sure don't want to deal with China on iron ore.
Okay, it would take a longer shutdown than that, and you have to have a point where the whole global economy will just collapse to nothing, right? Well, what's the first thing people want to do when things open back up? Get back to normal. You want your life back to as close to the way it ended as possible. Okay,
right?
And that's what's going to happen, at least until too many bodies drop. So we'll see. If we have acceptable losses, then people will go on like it was normal. If you have too many, that's when the problems will actually jump in. So they're gonna open it back up and see what happens. So you keep your fingers crossed that they can keep it down to an acceptable rate. If we lose a couple 100,000 people this year, they can live with that. Okay, you lose 2 million, that's a problem. Like we're on pace for like 200,000 people dead from coronavirus, which is a lot. I'm not going to shit on it because there's still a lot of people, But the thing is, they can live with 200,000 people. That's why they're taking a chance to open up the economy. Say we can actually downgrade the numbers to like 200,000, 250,000, which is not too bad considering how many people die anyway, right?
Yeah,
but you
yeah.
get to like 3 or 4 million a year, that begins to be a problem. That starts to scare people.
Damn.
But other than that, I think they're gonna open them back up and see what happens. If, like I said, there's gonna be some bodies that will drop. We just have to see how many, and hope there's not too many.
Well, you know what? It beats Rikers Island. I'll tell you that. Anyway, good talking to you, man.
All right, all right, all right, you guys. I'm out of here. And we already went through the flu checking for you. I already did that, man. We're not doing that today. David Bowman, coronavirus is not airborne. Bullshit. Bullshit. David Bowman, bring your ass up here, man. Bring your ass up here. Bring your ass up here, man. Talking that smack. Bring your ass up here, man. Bring your ass up here. You're going to talk shit when I'm getting ready to close out. Bring your ass up here. Bring your ass up here, man. Coronavirus is not airborne. Bullshit, man. Oh, you were joking. Okay. All right. Yeah, I was just closing out. Can you explain quantitative easing? Okay. Quantitative easing is really simple, okay? Banks make money on a differential, right? They buy their money for a certain amount or buy credit for a certain amount, say like 3%, and they sell loans for 2 or 3%. So in other words, the loan they give to you is 6%. They get their money at 3%. They make money off the differential. Okay. When the economies collapse, if they want to make the bank make the maximum amount of money, what will they do? Increase the differential, which will lower the prime rate, which the money they get from, like as close to zero as possible. So they actually loan the money out as much as possible, like 5 or 6%. They can make double their amount of money, build up their assets or their liquidity, and rebuild their bank balance. They want to increase the bank balance. That's quantitative easing. Instead of giving them money outright, they lower the interest rates to a point where banks can start to make more money and get healthy. That's quantitative easing. That's what it is. Does that make sense to you? Cheap dollars, exactly. I mean, if you study banking, it's really not that hard. You buy for $1, you sell for $2. That's where you make your profit. Banks make their profits on actually issuing out loans. The thing is, with the issuing out loans, if people are not working and taking loans out, then they don't make a profit. And what happens with banks? They're loaning the money to bigger corporations like Excel, like Microsoft or Boeing or someplace like that, where they're actually loaning money. It's easier to actually get money from the banks than from the stockholders. So what they do is they borrow money and sell off stock because the money is cheaper. So quantitative easing makes loan money really, really cheap. So it doesn't trickle down to the common person, which is a problem, because at the end of the day, the common person doesn't have enough money or loans to actually keep the economy going. So quantitative easing only works for so long, which is why the banks broke down like after about 5 or 6 years, and they had to pump more money into them because you're not keeping a healthy economy. Now this one they actually pumped in like $10 trillion of easing money to actually keep the thing going directly. So it's a simple concept, simple in concept to understand. To actually execute it is very, very difficult because people will do all kinds of study with money. Anyway, if that's it, man, I'm gonna jump off and I'm gonna go get me some juice. Basically, economics is not that difficult if you take out a lot of the techno babble they actually put into it. The concept is really simple. You get the basic concept of how money works and how economies work, and then when you start adding on terms, it really starts to make sense. Because a lot of times they use these terms to kind of hide, to make it seem like it's magic, and it's not. Basically, buy and sell is basically the same thing. The only thing is that when you get into more complex society, and basically where you're borrowing from Peter to pay Paul, okay, that's what you're doing when you get to a bank, especially a large bank and a large economy. They're borrowing from Peter to pay Paul and taking a little bit because they can come back around and pay Paul, pay Peter his interest, his initial rate plus a little bit, and they keep doing the same thing. They keep borrowing from Peter, pay Paul, Sam, Louis, and all that kind of stuff, so they come back around and pay Paul his initial interest. And Paul happens to be Peter happens to be the Federal Reserve and the Treasury, okay. And then it's just one big Ponzi scheme that keeps going round and round and round. But it works. As long as it works, it's fine. When it doesn't work, that's when shit falls apart. What would happen if national debt was paid off? Then basically prices will go down and money would be cheaper. If it was actually paid off. It paid off to a point. Because they always have to have some kind of for this kind of system to work, there has to be a little bit money out there for people to pay monopoly. Because once there's no money, once one person has all the money, then monopoly game is over. So it has to be a little bit money loaned out so that people can actually collect your interest. So the debt would never be completely paid off, but if it was paid off, then you would start the game all over again. Anyway. That's part of it, but that's not the reason that's not the problem of quantitative easing. Yeah, that's the outcome. Quantitative easing will work if you can get your economy rebooted and actually sell the stuff back into the economy, which the Fed actually did in I think the mid 2010s. They started selling the bonds back and getting their money back. But the thing is, the banks started to do poorly again because your economy was still shit. But the thing is, you're going through a transition anyway with automation and stuff like that. So the old way of working and that kind of old economies don't work anymore. They have to figure out how the new economy is actually going to work. Which this is a good example of a new economy where people just sit home. The only reason I know that this wasn't done on purpose is because your bots, your drones are not able to actually deliver. You still have to have human beings deliver the stuff at human wages. So that's why I know this is not on purpose. If 2 or 3 years from now, I could actually agree with you. Then yeah, they did it on purpose to make people stay at home, so they actually have to have the machines take over. That would make sense. But thing is, if you don't have the machines take over and they're not ready yet, then you wouldn't do this on purpose. It would be stupid. So the thing is, it's not that a particular idea is not viable. It's just not viable under certain circumstances. Okay, the theory that they're throwing out would make sense if it was like 2025 when you have the delivery machines, you got the self-driving cars, you got the 5G in place, you got the drones that can deliver to a house. Then you don't need a supermarket, right? All you need is a website, a website to order from. You punch in some numbers, you order your food or wherever it is. The robots actually pack your food, pack your order, put it on a van, and your drone will actually deliver it to your door. You never have to go to the store. They don't need an open store. All they need is a big warehouse and have all these different bots pulling your orders and actually deliver it to your door. That would make sense. But when you don't have that, it's still built for human beings. This kind of interdiction or this kind of lockdown doesn't make sense if you're actually doing it on purpose. That's why I don't agree with it. You already have a trade war. You had a trade war since 1995. They already have a trade war. They've been locked in a currency and trade war with China and Asia since at least 1997 with the Asian currency crisis. In fact, there's a book there's a paper I haven't read in years, and I didn't read the whole. I actually skimmed it, didn't read the whole paper. I might actually pull it back up. It was called The Asian Currency Crisis, 10 years later, written in 2007. Might pull it back up and actually go back through it. Anyway, any other questions before I bounce? World War III is not going to happen, man, unless it's an accident. And if you believe that World War III is going to happen, you should be digging your bunker right now. You should be in Amazon digging your bunker, because that's the only way you're going to be safe. In which crisis? Asian currency crisis? Yep, he actually led it. He actually led it. Soros actually led that one. When Soros does shit, I'll be first to tell you that he did it. I'm not a fan of Soros. When he does stuff, he does it. When he's not involved, you can't blame him for stuff he's not involved in. I wish that if you look up CEPR and look up Asian currency crisis, the paper should pop up. You could have been in World War III at least 4 or 5 times last year, and you weren't. Okay, because Trump in the United States was right on the brink of starting it, like at least 3 times, and they didn't. What's my view of the S&P 500? I haven't even looked at it today. It's dependent on whether the economy is going to open back up or not. Look at SPX real quick. Trading View, SPX. Oh, we're down. Oh, shit. Okay. It could be buy the news and sell the fact. It could be a sell-off. All the people that bought the news back what was it? 2 weeks ago when you had that rally. Let's look at the chart real quick and see what happens. See what's going on. Actually, you had a nice little bounce today. Let's see. What's going to happen? I think I actually explained this on one of my videos. Let's look at it real quick. Let's see. I actually said this a few weeks back. I mean, not a week back, but like last week. What you're going to have is sideways, right? Let me increase this a little bit more so you guys actually see this. Actually, what you're going to have is a sideways motion, right? And I predicted that your bottom is going to be right there. And you're going to have a top, which is, our wife said it was going to be right there, but let's make it right here. Yeah, we'll make it right there. So you're gonna have parallels. So we call some people call it a rolling instrument. Some people call it a ranged instrument. They call it a lot of different things. But basically what you have is a sideways motion, right? So you have it bounded. So you probably what's going on right now is basically sideways. This is your bottom. This is your top. You get down here. Bottom out is going to buy it back up. And then when it gets up here, it's going to get sold off. So that's what you're seeing right now. So tomorrow when it opens up, if it opens up, it's going to come up to here. It's going to sell off. If the pattern is actually good, and it'll probably be like that sideways until like Monday when the economy starts to open up. That's the S&P. So that goes for the Dow and dollar, all that kind of stuff. Sideways means that they're uncertain. It's a holding pattern. It's been like a holding pattern for a week because you don't know what's going to happen when you open up the economy. There's 2 forces play about, which is New York with the people dying in New York, and then the unemployment figures and job losses and stuff like that. So it's going to be sideways, if that makes sense. So it's been like sideways for like the last week or so, last week and a half. So that means you have uncertainty. That makes sense. Get it? Got it? Good. If that's all we got, I'm going to bounce. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.